Welcome everybody. We're just about to get started here. Sit back, relax, bring up your chairs, bring up your popcorn, share the stream with everybody. We're about to go for 90 minutes here at Sarthe de la Sarthe. Welcome everybody to 90 minutes of Sarthe de la Sarthe, or Le Mans for the uneducated. It is the Racing Sim Rigs World Series Round 6. It's going to be spicy. There's going to be people in the walls. There's going to be people crying at Porsche curves. There's going to be people crying at the temperature of the track. And it's all going to be for your entertainment. To join me in such adventures, I always have Craig beside me. Craig, how are things this Wednesday evening?
I'm gone. It's too hot. It's too hot. I've had enough. It's too hot for track. Forget the iRacing stuff. No, I'm joking. I know everyone loves the moment how hot Le Mans can get. Good evening, everybody. I could not resist a bit of a joke there. RSR World Series at Le Mans. It doesn't get any better than this. We haven't seen in real life GT3 cars drive around here in years. And it's always fun to watch them drive around here when the VRS series comes here. I know it's great. I know a lot of people love doing the VRS endurance as well, the three or so hours around here for it. So it's a really fun race, especially with the way a lot of these cars are going. We talked about it last week with the drivers. And looking at the times, it does show it, you know. Apart from in the practice times, there is a car at the front that is really surprising. The car that was going to struggle with the gearing, the McLaren. Well, Linus Tech now is fastest in the practice charts, and you don't want to take practice seriously, but it's still something to keep an eye on because 0.2 of a second faster than Tim Matsuke in an Audi. It will be interesting, but the 00, the Ford, third fastest in practice. I mean, you got to keep an eye on that.
It's a beefy boy. I'm not gonna lie, it's a big beefy boy.
Love it. I'm actually really looking forward to see how that car runs in practice, if I'm brutally honest.
Well, it'll have an easier time. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't have anything to say. No, you go
no,
on.
I was going to say it'd probably have an easier time around this track than most others because it's Le Mans. I mean, there's technical bits to it as well, but it still is a lot easier in terms of sprint races because, you know, it's straights. Okay, maybe a few corners here and there, and, you know, Indianapolis and the Porsche curves might pose it a bit of a threat. But other than that, it's nice, easygoing corners. There's no real danger zone. There's no Top Gun playing as they're going through the majority of the corners. The gutters. The corners.
So I'm just looking to see who we're going to have. Oh god, 73, 24, 2, 70, 42, 69, 11, 28, 27, 7, 58, 31, number 1, 19, and 87. So, I just gotta write that down where they're just saying it on track because they're doing a few more than usual in terms of the splits today. So, when you look at it, it will be 73 Simon Marshall, number 24 Josh Seymour, number 2 James Goldstein, number 70 Adam Christo, 42 Anthony Josh Johnson, 69 Oscar Copper, 11 Miles Stump, 28 Callum Beaumont, 27 Carl Jackalot, who just loses it going into Dunlop, number 7 Mark Bailey, 58 Richard Cohen, 31 Taylor Lane, the 1 of Matt Heatrick, the 19 of Jack Hills, and the 87 of Chris Miles. So quite a lot of cars out in one go. But of course, it's going to be a 4 minute, between a 3:54 and a 4 minute lap time for these cars, depending on the car and the driver. So, a lot of times you just build your tires up going out there. It's not like an official race where you start your qualifying lap literally at the Ford chicanes.
No, absolutely. And
James Goldstein's gone off. Sorry, James Goldstein has lost the car, and he's got a lot of damage, and that's probably him done. He's just lost the car going into that's Eau Rouge, is it? Sorry, that's Eau Rouge. Sorry.
It is indeed, actually. Just coming past Terre Rouge. I can see the car going. The car is disagreeing. The car disagreed, and the car is deciding the wall is good enough for him.
Oh man, he just had two. I don't know if that was just a little bit too unbalanced there or not, but that was very weird to see the car lose the back like it did there. Really surprised. Did he catch a bit of the curb? It may have done a bit of the curb in the front. So, just keeping an eye on who will be the first car. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the first car to set a lap? It would be Carl Jacquelat in the 27. And this was the car I was on about before the race. Carl Jacquelat is the 27. But because I've unticked the numbers option in iRacing, he's running car 42 on his livery. I don't know why. The
car what?
On his livery for me, it says car 42 because I've unticked the custom numbers, but I'll tick the custom numbers button.
So you're seeing conflicting numbers on your on the side of your car.
Well, I can see it's 27 thanks to relatives and everything, but if I look at him, it says car 42. So apart from that, everything's fine.
I'm surprised. I was surprised that he was able to actually get back on track and is still ahead of everybody else. And he must have been literally the first car out on track to be able to even he had this incident in the
Dunlop,
section,
wasn't it?
It's just past Dunlop coming in through the S's of S du Traitre Rouge, according to Racing Circuit Info.
Which basically translates to the S's before Terre Rouge.
Yeah, Terre Rouge.
Terre Rouge. So it's funny because there's so many different names that people have for these bits of Le Mans. And all I can remember is the first chicane down Mulsanne is always PlayStation. A few years ago, the second chicane was the Michelin chicane. I'm not entirely sure what it is now. I think it's the Forza chicane, but I'm not entirely sure because you get that iconic photo, you get that iconic camera shot down the Mulsanne straights are coming out of chicanes, and you've always got the sponsors on the tire walls, and it's so good to see it. One of the things that always sticks with me when watching Le Mans on TV isn't the cars coming up the start straight up to Dunlop. It's just that camera going down Mulsanne and just seeing the cars come into the chicane and come out of the chicane.
I would like to point out, by the way, I think this will be the first time that the guys will come in and have the new Porsche, which is basically the new pace car entry, where it actually follows the Le Mans style, where it actually pulls off essentially a sharp turn to the right just after it comes out of the Ford chicane. Whereas before in iRacing, it basically, as exactly to the point, followed the pit line or the pit lane, and it was a nervous, nail-biting experience because if you went too fast before the green flag, you got a black flag as a leader because you went past the pace car. Yeah,
I don't think it's happened to me. Might have happened to me. I can't remember. I have seen it happen to others. And thankfully, it's all changed. I remember you weren't aware of the change, and we came here week 2 of the ILMS season this season. By the way, we do that every Friday night, and you were really surprised. You weren't aware of it, and it caught you off guard. There, you thought, well, "Why is the pace car still?" Oh,
yeah, oh, yeah. Well, I had read the change, and then I was just like, right, what on earth do I do next?
Where do I go? Oh, there. So we're just letting these guys do their first laps at the moment. Carl Jacqueline is coming down to the second chicane, which I was told that PlayStation is now also the Forza chicane. So I have no idea what the second chicane is anymore, and I'm sure Nuno will probably tell me in chat as he corrected me before. By the way, if you are watching on YouTube, thank you very much. Just to let you know, we also stream this on Twitch, and we have our brand new Twitch channel.
Radeon TV or twitch.tv/Radeon TV. If you're having difficulties on YouTube, you can always join us on Twitch. You can always watch back the VODs here or there. Preferably YouTube. Do it on YouTube. Thank you very much.
I mean, I think the only reason we use Twitch is basically just so we can get Rents Defense clips.
Yeah. I mean, it's sad but true. You know, we have Rents. You do a lot of the grunt work in terms of clips. So you basically go through our Twitch VOD and then just go, yeah, that's a nice launch of Louis Egerton into the Suzuka pit straight clip.
I'm upset that he didn't pick the hi, that's me, you're probably wondering how I got here. He just took the best clip where I'm just trying to broadcast the start and you just burst into laugh seeing Louis fly in the sky. I think I must have sent him about 6 clips all in the last week, just from this series, the ERO Endurance we did on Saturday. I don't think we did anything for ILMS or our Fanatec GT series, but always worth just checking them all out, people. We do 3 streams a week. We had 4 last week just because ERO just fell in. They do a monthly endurance race, but we do keep on to them. But yeah, I think I sent about 6. 2 of them got in, and they both also made the intro thumbnail, which I thought was rather cool. So we must be doing something right.
Well, something at least. Naming corners and getting people's names right is not one of them.
Oh no! I mean, I don't get Le Mans wrong. Okay, I don't get Le Mans wrong. Okay, we'll just point that out right now.
Just clear the slate. So, Carl Jacqueline is about to cross the line. He'll set the first lap, and I think it's actually going to be a 4-minute 1:2:60. That's a pretty benchmarky set of laps there. Or a lap time he's put in there. So, hopefully he'll put in a faster one coming around a second time. Jack Hill's going, well, I say that Jack Hills and Mark Bailey both put lap times on the board. Jack Hills put a 4:7:02, and then, as I say that, Bradley Sellers puts in a 3:58.935. Now, in practice, they were doing 3:56s, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, these guys were doing 4 minutes. Bradley Sellers, who went pole, he's actually gone faster there by a second compared to his practice time. As I was saying at the start, we had a lot of them in the 57s, the 3-minute 57s and the 3-minute 58s. A couple of the top guys were doing 3:56s. Linus Tech now put a 3:54.801 in, and Tim Matskey did a 3:55.001, so practically a 3:55 flat. So that's the type of times we expect to be seeing when we get into the business end of qualifying. So after this group, we'll definitely be seeing the 57s and the 58s. A few more cars have crossed the line. James Goldstein with a 4:06.815 and Josh Seymour with a 4:04.460. Chris Miles a 4:02.208. So the times are coming in. Jack Hills, we already knew, a 4:7:01. Adam Christo will be crossing the line. Now, this is the pro driver who's won numerous 24-hour races, but never in a Le Mans, and his first lap is a 4. Not right.
He was on his out lap. He didn't actually set a lap.
Oh, was he actually that far in the pit lane that it crossed the start-finish line?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I didn't even realize that was possible at Le Mans.
Wait, what? Yeah, no, he just sat in the pits for quite a while, and then he came out and actually started doing laps. I think he was trying to wait for the traffic to start clearing out.
Okay. That's fair enough.
By the way,
James Goldstein, can I just say, James Goldstein is still doing this qualifying with that destroyed wing. I thought 4:06, that's a slow time. Then I realized, yeah, because he's got a broken wing, he can only go He's going 270 down the Mulsanne straight into the second chicane. To give an idea, Chris Miles is the next car down. Let's see where he is at the moment. He's 250, coming up to 260. So it's also a bit slow for Chris, but at the same time, he's got to 70. Yeah, he's at 70. He's going to be about 5 kilometers an hour faster than James Goldstein, and that was probably the shortish corner.
Yeah, I mean, I think, as was said in the driver's briefing, if you mess up on your laps, you're kind of boned essentially, because the time that it takes for you to get back out there and actually start a flying lap is quite a long time. It's, you know, and it nears makes no difference 4 minutes from, you know, getting on your out lap to starting a brand new lap, and then you've already wasted one lap, so you've only got one shot essentially, and that's not something that's good to hang over your shoulders.
A bit of controversy. Bradley Sellers should not have been out on the track at this moment. He was not in this group for qualifying.
Oh, looks like we got an invalidated lap.
That will be interesting to see what happens.
Oh dear.
He was actually, he was meant to be in the second group. I did not realize that. Technically, the group went down from Chris Miles onwards. I'm not reading all the names out again. But yeah, so I'm not sure what's going to happen there. So we've got some YouTube chat. I think we've got some Twitch chat. Someone saying, "Yay Twitch!" Yep, yay Twitch. Andy Hitchens, shout out to Neil Butler, who stood on something at the beach the other day and has an infected heel. So he's driving the whole race left-footed. Are you saying the Butler did it?
Ladies and gentlemen, Craig King, my co-commentator.
Bradley Sellers' lap is going to be fine. This means that he's just finished already. So everything's fine there. We see Oscar Copper is he starting his lap? He's a bit late there, is it? He's had 2 invalid laps. Oscar Copper's had 2 invalid laps. And James Goldstein now with the wing, destroyed wing, he goes invalid. So that gives you an idea. It's a tough track to get it. Well, tough track to keep clean all along, let's be honest.
Well, they were setting lap times around the Nordschleife, which I would argue is a much, much more difficult track to keep it going for 8 minutes, essentially.
It is, but the issue you've got is you know where you are on the Nordschleife. You can see the grass. You can see the walls. At Le Mans, because they're racing on a temporary track, there is a lot of open space. So there's a lot of places you can go.
Well, that's fair, but at the same time, 2 laps invalidated? Come in!
I've done that before.
Oh, Adam Crisso, did he? He did not set a lap time, and he's pulled off to the side.
Wow.
So we might not see him set another lap. I think he is joined the 2 guys that you mentioned, so that's now 3 drivers that have not set a lap time.
Wow.
We managed. We are proud to announce that the Ford made it to the Circuit de la Sarthe. He also brought upgrades from Japan. We managed to steal the shocks from a Toyota Corolla. We also managed to get our drivers spiced up on a big sip of sake too. Right, so
Sake.
So Josh Mayer is he is saked
Running
up.
under the influence.
He's psyched up and saked up, and he's going to be praying that the car doesn't bounce as much as it did at Suzuka.
Right, so let's just go down the cars that are... Oh god, there's a car that's spun. That's Marius Yankee. They're just all bunched up trying to make space at the moment. This is weird. But the cars out meant to be at the moment is the 54 Louis Eggerson, the 14 Andrew Miller, the 91 Tom Johnson, the 95 Harry Wills, the 88 Marius Yankee, the 15 Chris Hamer, the 22 Ben Smith, the 99 Stefan Kurtzman, the 25 of Martin Pearson, the 49 of Simon Dodd, the 21 of Mark Sonderman, the 57 of Sebastian Rain, and the 36 of Isaac Barkley.
Marius Yankee, by the way, in the number 88. kept it out of the wall for the most part. I don't see any damage on him, so he's done well to keep it out of the wall thus far, and is back continuing on his charge towards his hot lap. He'll have a little bit of slipstream from the Eddie ahead of him, but I don't think he also I don't think he wants that either, because he'd be right.
Allowed it either.
Well, not intentionally anyway.
So they might just pull back for a bit of a gap. Simon Dodd has 11 seconds between him and Chris Hamer, which of course we have to talk about Chris Hamer because it's the Radion TV car.
Are you sure it's the Radion TV car? I think it's. Oh no, is it Hamer or?
Oh no, Chris Hamer doesn't have it. No, sorry, it almost looks identical to the Radion TV car, apart from the big white hood.
Nothing
No,
can
you're
replace.
right.
Nothing can replace the Radion TV car.
Except no imitations. You wanted the best, you got the rest.
Yeah, essentially.
No, it's I can't remember who's in the Radion TV. This is bad. They're racing for us, and I can't remember who's in it.
It's Christian first. There you go.
Yeah. He's actually near the front, so we won't see him for a while.
Another thing as well, by the way, the first set of drivers just gunned it immediately, and this set are taking their time, and they are using all of the track and then some to warm their tires. So there's going to be a cascade effect going into their first lap times as they try and make space between Egerton and I think that is Ben Smith ahead of him is trying to make space. But they are doing the slalom. They're doing the La Cucaracha down Gulf Straight. Well, not really a straight, but it's Gulf. I think they're just trying to get temperature in the tires for their hot lap and trying not to make a mistake along the way.
Did you just call that the Gulf Straight? Did you just call that the Gulf Straight where Ben Smith was at?
No, I meant the Gulf Straight when they were coming. That's where they were doing the weaving.
Oh,
I have not transgressed against sacred ground. I understand my corners and my straights.
I must admit, there is something I cannot get right. We were on about the chicanes earlier. It used to be called the Gulf Straight you mentioned. Used to be called the Indianapolis Straight. Also used to be called the Toyota Straight. According to racingcircuits.info, it's now the Coupe de Golf. So I have no idea what it is. And of course, iRacing has an old scan from like what 2015, I want to say. So it could. So in this format, it could be the Indianapolis Straight. It's so weird.
Well, we in the business just call it Golf because it was always called Golf.
Well, it never wasn't always called Golf. You know, it wasn't called that back in 1912.
Damn it.
Money, man, money. This is a great indication of how money talks. Remember how I was saying how you got so many different people putting their sponsored and paying for those chicanes down the Mulsanne Straight? Yeah, why? Oh, the camera's straight on you. That's why. Money talks.
Yeah, but the commentators always just keep calling it like you're talking about Mulsanne 1 and Mulsanne 2, or PlayStation / Forza, and whatever the second one's called.
Yeah.
Whereas everybody in like the sim racing community and like the sports fans, they just call them Mulsanne 1, Mulsanne 2 because, well, they're bus stops essentially, and they're on the Mulsanne Straight. So they're Mulsanne 1, Mulsanne 2.
And they're also not paid, and then they're also not paid to say the name of the people that have paid the money to have the sponsorship.
So, yeah, it's kind of a backward situation where it's just like, yes, I paid for the signs there, but we're not paying you plebs, so come at me, bro. No, dude,
just an official from Microsoft. Like, they're just an official from Microsoft, just there, just hanging around the track, and he just hears two guys going, "Hey, where do you want to sit? Where do you want to watch the action?" You know, I'm thinking about Mulsanne 1 and just a Microsoft guy just twitching and having an aneurysm just in the background.
having a slight weep as he's as the sponsorship is not
American,
working.
yeah, the Native American tear in the eye. Remember that?
Yeah.
Just like that.
The Trail of Tears, but it's a Trail of Tears in terms of Microsoft not getting their corner named Forza by everybody. It's just still called Mulsanne. No, everybody. No, let's put it this way: everybody calls Ford Ford, and Porsche cars Porsche cars.
Yeah.
So
And Corvette as well.
yeah. So the so car manufacturers are, you know, that Drake, oh no, I won't have that, but I'll have that meme. The contrast meme, where it's just like, I won't have any games or any consoles on my sacred racetrack, but car names and manufacturer names, okay.
Okay, and speaking of manufacturer names, because we've got Simon Dodd about to do the first one to make a lap time here as he comes around the four chicanes. Will cross the line. I love how the start-finish line is so early on the straight. It's going to be a 3:59.388. It's P2 by about just under half a second. So a good warm-up time.
No, it'd just be over a second. Well, it's now under a second because Chris Hamer has gone third position with a 3:59.710. Momentarily, he was just over a second ahead of Jack Hills, who did a 4-minute 4:49. Oh wait, you are actually correct. My apologies. No wait, no wait. I'm still correct. Technically, oh, sorry. Simon Dodd will not be doing a second.
Oh no! 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 Did he just? Yeah. Put too much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a shame.
We've all done that. The main straight is actually called. We're just seeing by the way, we're just seeing a replay of what Simon Dodd did to his poor car, and the reason why he won't be doing his second lap. And I think he's done the safe thing and just towed.
Yeah, no. According to YoLPs, the main straight is actually called the Hunderet. And also the chicanes are called the Rassenteurs.
Yeah, but I mean,
I have a French friend and I have not checked this, even though she does not watch Le Mans. I send her Snapchats of Le Mans every year Le Mans is on, and she asks me, what am I watching? You're French! You may live in the north of France, but you must know of Le Mans!
Yeah, but Le Mans is in the northern half of France, so...
Exactly! I'm just like, every year, like, what are you watching? I'm like, I'm watching Le Mans. Oh, okay. And I'm thinking to myself, you don't know what Le Mans is, do you?
No.
I'm like, no. Right, so we did have some times in there. Marius Yanke goes pole with a 3:58.286, does not go for a second lap. Louis Eggleston with a 3:58.629. Andrew Miller, we mentioned a 3:59.451. He's out for a second lap. As is Tom Johnson with a 3:59.149. Elsewhere down, Simon Dodd, we did mention, so we don't have to go on about him. Martin Pearson did not have a very good first lap, a 4-minute flat, .034. So we will wait to see what he does there. Chris Hamer, a 3:59.710. And like I said, this is now, we're getting into this business end, because some of these guys are getting the 58s. We'll be seeing 57 shortly. And I think when the last group, because the last drivers will all be going out together, but because it's the final split, the final shootout, they will be staggered. So just remember that.
Why is it that the Ford, the cursed Ford, is in the shootouts, and who is it going to be? Well, dominating the track with, or the track against in this case, because that thing is a big boy, and it bounces. Well, it bounces at Suzuka. I'm not sure if it has. Well, it definitely would have a different setup, because Le Mans is very. It's very. You have to make the car as streamlined as possible, but also be able to corner as fast as possible. So you got to strike a balance between the two of them. And I'm noticing.
I would like to see how the Ford does the straights. Because it's a GT car, you put the car in the middle of the straights because of the way the track, because it's a real world road. It's got a little bit of a lip, so it's higher in the middle. And for some reason, when you put a GT car in the middle there, it gets better traction or aerodynamics, and it's faster. So I really want to see how that Ford just takes those lines.
Welcome to iRacing.
Honestly, when I raced some GT down here a few seasons back for ILMS, and everyone knew at that time, Chris Hamer, by the way, crossing the line was he's going to do his first lap. It's not faster. It's a 3:59.543. As I was saying, I was all there, and everyone knew the Ferrari had the best speed, and I'm there in a BMW in the middle of the track with a Ferrari next to me, and I'm pulling away from the Ferrari because the Ferrari's taken one side of the road, and I'm slap bang in the middle. That was the difference. I had Ferraris going, oh my god, that BMW's fast. Why is it fast? It's like, no, it's because I'm using what's on the track.
I am using all of the track and nothing less than all of the track.
Yeah, basically. Right, Louis Eggleston, a 3:58.523 puts him provisionally P3. We'll keep an eye on Marius Yanke. Of course, he did not set a time, did he? Mark Sonderman will be the next car to set a time. It's coming around the Ford. Make
Ben
sure
Smith.
you don't mess up.
Ben Smith just took pole with a 3:58.206, and we were just looking at Sebastian Rain. That Audi is not a very happy Audi. He's definitely just in that slap. Oh no, I hate to do it to him, but boy, control that rear end. But he'll. Oh no, he does not go for another. Does he? Oh, he's pulling. He was pulling off to one side. What is he doing? This is not the race. How did he not get an invalidated lap? Hello? Hello?
I'm confused.
Look at this coming out of Corvette, by the way.
Yeah, no, Rob. I'm looking at iRacing, and iRacing is saying he did a. If you go to his laps bar, it says he just did a 3:59.995. Yet when you go and look at last lap, it's a 4:01.064.
Like, he definitely went off track on that last bit. How? I'm speechless. iRacing is just. You see, look, he went off the. He nearly went off into the gravel traps. Ah!
I have no idea. But the thing is, they are not doing staggered. They are getting everybody out. Jonas Dreyer will be the first. This is almost like F1 with the final.
With the final 10, essentially, just everybody just go out, do your thing, go out.
And also just been told that the moment the last car crosses the line, they will go straight into the race.
Okay.
So, in all due fairness, they have whistled through this today with the qualifying.
Yeah,
very well done.
I was imagining it would be like when I saw it was going to be an hour for the session, I would have been like, it's a bit weird. But when I was taking the kind of the nap times, it might have made sense. But they definitely steamed through this, so I imagine within the next 15 minutes they will be done, and we can just see the two Manatee cars. Joshua Mayer slowing down to let his. What I assume is not Tim Matsky. It is Liam McNinch. It is Liam McNinch. Car 56 going by the car double O of Joshua Mayer. The big bouncy boy attempting to not.
But it's not bouncing. It's not bouncing on the straights. It just goes for a bit of a twitch. It's not bouncing on the straights.
Yeah, the camera was aimed directly downwards, by the way, and we saw the car slide very, very, very sharply. So we're expecting to see. We're expecting to see that the Ford does take a speed advantage. Well, hopefully anyway. It'll have the gearing for it, but I don't think it'll have enough straightaway to do it because the rest of the cars are limited by IMSA gearing. There's a prescribed gearbox that each of the cars have. For this one in particular, I don't think it actually has an IMSA restrictor.
Has Ford ever raced for IMSA? Not in this car.
Yeah,
not in this car.
Yeah, that's the problem. They can't actually give it a IMSA spec gearbox. in iRacing because they never race at IMSA and never
So,
will.
I was gonna say, yeah. Mayer has to actually slow down. He let McNinch get ahead of him, and coming out of the first chicane, he was about 1.2 seconds behind. He finished the chicane 0.8 seconds behind. So he's got a bit of speed on this thing. I'm actually curious to see how fast he can go. Down the Gulf Straight at the moment, he's only doing 270, and that he's dabbed on the brakes. He wants to get as much room as he can. Just a little bit careful, because 5 seconds behind him is Christian Furtz, but he has to be careful here. As Jonas Dreyer had a 14-second gap between him and the next car, Neil Butler, who is apparently doing 1 foot today. How he's going to do that, I don't know.
Heel and toe, like the old boys did it.
heel and toe with flappy paddles. I love it.
I mean, it can be theoretically done, right?
Yeah, I would have just like picked up a rim with dual clutches and just programmed one of them to be a brake. It's doable.
That might work.
It's doable. Where is Matsuke, by the way? Oh, he's in the middle of this pack. That is interesting. So Matsuke, the championship leader, normally he's got a fast... Okay, he's still got an open track. 9 seconds ahead of him is Christian Furtz, but he's not going to get the Hamilton treatment. He's not going to be the last car to cross the line.
No, that'll probably fall to this man, Dennis Van Asch. I'm hoping I said that last name right. If I didn't, I'm probably going to get my kneecaps broken into by everybody who's from the Netherlands.
Is he definitely... what flag has he got on his car?
I have no idea. I don't see the flags on my end, so you'll have to be the guide for that.
I'm pretty sure that is a German flag on the front of his... I don't know, actually. I don't know.
So can I leave now? Can I run away? All the Germans now will be... Or, no. All the Germans will be annoyed at me that I got the country wrong. And all the Danish... Or all the Dutch people will be mad at me because I said he was from the Netherlands.
But the weird thing is, on the car is the German flag. On the back of his car is a Belgian website. So I'm confused. I think he's Belgium just for the fact that his club is not DE, AT, or CH. It's Benelux.
It's not duh.
No, it's Benelux. So I'm pretty sure he's Belgian.
Okay, so I have to run away from Belgium instead. Okay, at least I haven't upset Germany. I'll take that risk. As you see Tim Matsuke charging down Mulsanne straight. It'll be Mulsanne, not Hunadire, because it's always going to be Mulsanne. I'll have to run from half
Europe.
At this point, I'll have to run away from half the world because I've murdered so many names. It's ridiculous.
So, we were saying about this top speed of the Ford, right?
Mm-hmm.
So coming into the second chicane, it hit 280. Coming into the first chicane, it almost reached 290. It got to 288 and then had to hit the brakes.
Yeah, that's about two or 3 kilometers faster than what Matsuke can do in his R8 spec.
Yeah, about 5 kilometers. Yeah.
Yeah.
About 5 kilometers faster.
It also depends on how well the actual Ford GT can brake as well, because I was noticing when he was on his outlap that he was actually braking quite a bit sooner than what Matsuke is doing. Matsuke is braking essentially at the very last moment that he can get away with it, whereas with the 00 car of Josh Mayer, I don't think he's I think he's taking a very much a gingerly approach around it. He's not encroaching on anybody. He's just like, I'm just trying to brake, don't worry about me, I'm just a little innocent unreal car that's not real. It should never exist.
I mean, we saw Sunday night the Ford GT2s, which is the same car, just got a GT2 badge on it. Literally, it is the same car. And the way they were hitting the brakes at Monster, some of them were hitting the brakes so much that the car was then going no, and the car was losing the back. So I don't want to imagine what this little Ford's going through. It goes in. Oh, he had to put more brake on at Ford. More brake on at Ford just to get the car not having an off track. Did he manage to avoid an a time penalty? He did. A 3:57.850 will put him pole.
You can see the Ford coming around now. It's not an off track, but it's not the most elegant looking car when it was going through the Porsche curves. It was kind of sliding. It was looking like a Skip Barber as another car put itself on the map. I can't see who it was though.
Neil Butler, he went 17th. Went 17th with 4 minutes 046. The Ford has crossed the line. It's a 3:56.945. It's P2 for the Ford.
And P1 for the Audi of Liam McNinch with a 3:56.580. Just come back to Tim Maskey.
Want to say that again? Tim Maskey just went pole. 3:55.453. Half a second slower than his practice laps. But bear in mind, that was done in about 30, I want to say 33, 34 Celsius. It's now 39 Celsius on the track at the moment. That's 103 Fahrenheit. Linus Tech now goes P2, a 3:55.647. So just under 2/10 between the two of them. McNinch now goes P3, and he's side by side with Hugh Haycock. Haycock, sorry. Not sure what's happening here. What is happening here? Has he had to literally just? Oh, he's just had to battle his way around a car going in to the second chicane. It might affect him. He's P3 at the moment for 3:56.579, but I don't know if he'll be able to go faster after having to do that.
No, I don't think so. Especially having to battle into something like the Mulsanne 1, which is what they just did, or PlayStation / Forza Corner. I think we'll have to be like, we'll just stick to our guns and just call it Mulsanne 1 because that's what everybody calls it.
Agreed.
Yeah, the 56 giving the 34 tow through the straights, but I don't think that's what the 34 wanted. The 34 car, I think that is Hugh Haycock's. We will try and get his name correct this time around.
I also don't think they're allowed to do this. Just putting it out there for any admins. Pretty sure you don't want to have a lap which is assisted by slipstream.
Well, I think
we'll wait and see.
Oh, I think Liam Min's just trying to get away, but I don't think you can actually get away when these drivers are kind of, you know, equal skilled and you just have slipstream. I don't think there's anything Liam McNinch can really do, because if he stayed behind him, his lap would be ruined. And so he's damned if he doesn't, damned if he does. So I think he's damned if he does in this case.
Haycock's is, it's almost like he's racing him at the moment, and this is a quali lap, so this will be interesting as they both hit the grass. So that would be McNinch. I would not be surprised if McNinch has a off. Yep.
Oh,
boom.
So yeah, that should give you an idea.
And then Haycock's also goes off. He had an off track there. So they both. So Christian Furtz has not set a time. Haycock's has not set a time. Dennis Van Asch invalidated his first lap.
Oh yeah, that's an invalid lap. And this is what he decided to do when he invalidated his lap. Yeah.
You had to add the pop at the end there, did you?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Right, so there are a few cars that have decided not to go out again. Matt Gay did not go out again. Mayer did not go out again. Tech now wants the pole. He wants... You can tell he is after this. No other car is out at the moment, so it looks like it's Iglesias. Ash. Tech now. I think they're the only ones out there at the moment setting a lap time, so... Just these three to go. Iglesias will be first, followed by Tech now, and then Ash will finish off the quota. So Iglesias, where is he? He's P8 at the moment, and he's just coming past the Corvette chicane on the way down to Ford.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on these guys as they're going across the line, but I'm surprised. There's actually quite a few notable names that have not set a qualifying lap. So it's Oscar Coper, Anthony Johnston, Rick Cohen, Callum Beaumont, Maut Stumpf, Adam Christo, Matt Heatrick, Hugh Haycox, Dennis Van Ash, who's still on track though, and Christian First have yet to set a lap time.
It's not good enough for Tech now, sorry. He's improved, but it's not good enough. He is still P2. Van Ash will cross the line. A 3:58.795 will put him P2. P12, sorry. Iglesias went faster with a 3:57.234. He is 5th.
All right, I think it's time to get these qualies, the quali laps documented, dossiered, and handed out to the drivers. So, in P1 for the how many races have you been P1 at this stage?
All of them.
Has he really?
Apart from the reverse grids, all of them.
Okay, so apart from the reverse grids, Matsuke for the millionth time in a has gone pole with a 3:55.454, with Linus Tech now right at his heels with a 3:55.565. Liam McNinch will do a 3:56.580, good enough for third position. Fourth position is Josh Mayer. Very scaringly, he's in fourth position with a big shouty boy of the Ford GT3, 3:56.946. Tristan Iglesias will do a 3:57.235, puts him into fifth. Jonas Dreyer is a 3:57.851. We didn't actually mention him before. He was out there on track. He did a very nice lap, all things considered. Ben Smith in seventh place with a 3:58.206. Marius Jank with a 3:58.286. Louis Egerton with a 3:58.524, good enough for ninth position. And in 10th position is Tom Johnson with a 3:58.580. Then the top 11 to 20, it is Adam Miles, Dennis Van Ash, Bradley Sellers, who went out on track when he didn't mean to, but you know, he got his telling off. Harry Wills with a 3:59.094, so we're getting into the 3:59s now for 14th position. Andrew Miller in 15th position. Simon Dodd in 16th position. Chris Hamer in 17th. Stefan Kurzman in 18th. Mark Sonderman in 19th. Isaac Barkley in 20th. And then we get into the 4-minute times. And the last 10 drivers to actually set a qualifying time. It is Martin Pearson with a 4-minute 034. Neil Butler with a 4-minute 046. Jack Hills with a 4-minute 449. Simon Marshall with a 4-minute 893. In 24th position. In 25th position is Sebastian Rain with a 401.065. So we're now actually getting into the 401 minutes. Mark Bailey with a 401.092. Carl Jacquelet, who had his encounter with the S's before Terra Rouge, and got acquainted with being a tractor with a 401.260. The car 27 in 27th place. Chris Miles with a 401.680. Taylor Lane with a 401.682 in 29th position. In 30th position is Josh Seymour with a 404.460, and finally James Goldstein, who really didn't have a good time out there, it seems, with a 406.816.
Yep. To quickly run down those that did not set a time, the order they will go into: Maut Stump with 32nd, Hugh Haycox 33rd, Rick Cohen. Hang on, I've got to get this right because I think I've messed it up. 34th will be Oscar Copper. 35th will be Anthony Johnson. 36th will be Christian Firth. Adam Christo will take 37th. Matt Heatrick 38th. Rick Cohen 39th, and Callum Beaumont 40th. And the shock there really is, Adam Christo, last week's race 2 winner, is practically at the back of the field. He's on the second last row.
That's the first challenge. Have you never heard of the first challenge?
Alright, so that's now Italy you've got to run away from. Oscar is right. You have to run away from half of Europe. Do you want to come to England? You know, we're leaving Europe. I don't know if you want to do that.
No.
No.
Because I'd have to run away from there as well when I. By the way.
lot of hues in chat. We've got a lot of people here, by the way. Thank you very much for watching us. I am going to be talking very loud in a minute because I don't know how loud on the stream the tricolor will be flying over. Because, let's be honest, you do not do Le Mans without the tricolor flying over as you come out of Corvette. There they go.
I'm just sorry. I just got the helmet cams because it's so nice to see the helmet cams. I did it for them. I did it for them so they could watch and gaze at Hugh Haycock's.
Right. Let's do this. By the way, guys, no overtaking of any of these cars until they come over the start-finish line. It is the agreement. It's not the gentleman's agreement you see in ILMS where it's single file. It's going to be everybody stick to your side-by-side and then no overtaking at the start-finish line. Matt Gay will take them there. They come around the first part of the Porsche chicane. Watch the Porsche safety car just all of a sudden just twitch out of nowhere. They go down now. I didn't never realize that. They go down onto the start-finish straight. Matsuke would lead them off there. He's now going to go to the side-by-side, the one-by-one now. Matsuke followed by Tech now. Meyer is trying to make a move. It looks like he doesn't want to overtake it. Doesn't want to go into a battle with his managing teammate. He will take P3 though. That is the power of the Ford going on there. Matsuke, Tech now, Meyer, McNish. Is there any action at any incidents at the back at the moment? Everything looks clear. A little bit of side-by-side there going on. But everything at the moment, Touchwood, is looking pretty clear.
Dennis Van Ash going off at the Dunlop chicane, but he seems to have recovered. But he's now battling with the car number 95. Harry Wills coming into the S's just before Terra Rouge. So it'll be Tim Matsuke, Linus Tech now, and Josh Merritt, your top three going into the big old straights.
Already, Matsuke and Tech now has put a bit of a gap on Meyer. And you can see McNinch is going to try and get a tow from Meyer. And he's not actually... Am I seeing this? He's getting a tow from the Ford, but he cannot catch up to the Ford. That is the gap that the Ford is pulling out there. He's pulled out a bit of a gap. He's actually caught on to the likes of the front. Now we got to watch around the back here. Any overtakes going on? Jonas Dreyer has lost a few places. Obviously, must have been down due to a slowdown. A few others will be getting a slowdown right now. Yankee, Smith, Eggleston, they're in a little bit of a trio right now. Trying to make a bit of a move. Smith wants to take down the inside of Eggleston. Looks like he will get it. They'll go side by side. Yankee has to be careful. He does have the run, but he does not want to force this free wide. He decides against it, and it looks like Smith might get the overtake done. Eggleston does not yield. He keeps going. Bold move there. Great move from Eggleston on the defense. He keeps his position. And at the back now, all aboard the train, they're starting to queue up a little bit back there.
As I was saying before I interrupted myself because of my throat, it was... Chris Miles is off on the second... Yeah, he's off on the second Mulsanne corner. Let's have a replay of what happened between him and the car that he was riding with. I think that is the car number 2 behind him of James Goldstein, who had a very good start, by the way. Managed to gain a few places. So let's see what happened between the two of them. I think it was an incident between the two of them. It was indeed. The car number 2 twitches and hits the inside of the car number 87 of Chris Miles. He does not tow because the car is still good. Apart from the little kiss he's now got on his right hand side, and he is now all the way back at the end of the gaggle.
Mayo wanted to make a move on Tech now there for a moment. I think he was just trying to get some free air there. This isn't NASCAR, you don't really need to not overheat the engine there, but had to go on the inside, had to go on the outside, sorry, going down into Indianapolis just to make sure he wasn't going to hit the back of Tech now. Just hold on there. Eggleston is moving up right now. He's got those positions into P6. Great going there. Adam Miles has made a few spots up as well, but he is in a really bit of a gaggle right now. Just trying to fight off Yankee and Johnson. Johnson, he defends them. Johnson. Bradley Stellers now is going to make the move. They're almost going free wide, going into the Porsche at the back here. They don't. They all manage somehow not to make an overtake and go single file. But at the back here, it's Yankee, Miles, Stella, Johnson, Andreas at the back here. And we know how difficult Porsche curves are going to be when you're following someone. The dirty air is really going to offset you here and make you struggle. And it's showing it a little bit for Johnson, I've got to be honest.
by the way, we just saw a replay on the stream. It was an incident between the car number 19 of Jack Hills and Zonderman. Unfortunately, Zonderman just got tipped around, and it's so easy to spin that car for some reason, but he just got pinged around like a pogo stick, and he's now down in a few places, but luckily no real damage. Everybody got around, no... Oh, sorry, as I say that, everybody got around with no hiccups and no tears. I think Jack just had some tears going through the Ford curves. I think that car really isn't doing too happy at the moment, as he's going side by side with Martin Pearson coming up towards Dunlop. He does yield the position.
Yeah, I think he's got to yield the position there. Had a little bit of slow speed. Meanwhile, everything's looking good. And Christo has made up some spots. He's made up 12 from the start there. Got to keep an eye on him. It looks like he may be struggling in terms of keeping the car on track for a hot lap. And let's be honest, everybody does. But it's making his way up right now. Done a really good first lap, in all due fairness, being at the back of the field. 25th. He started 37th, so some good going there. This is not a reverse grid, so he really has to... He's fighting for the win. Well, not for the win, to get up there. But remember, 90-minute race. Anything can happen. He's got to do some defending. And again, McNinch at the front. It's trying to catch on to Mayer, but it's sized against it. And it's the same in front of them. Technow, Matsgay, they're using each other. And really, Technow could overtake Matsgay, but he does not have the top speed to keep it. So if he holds on behind, maybe use that, save a bit of fuel, lift off before the corners, back out the corners a bit more, as they say in oval term. Just brake a little bit earlier, so that's what it is when they say back out the corners. Just use that to his advantage, save some fuel, maybe go an extra lap, and that could help him. So that'll be a battle worth watching. And actually, a lot of these cars might be doing that as well. McNinch might be doing that. Smith, Eggerson might be doing that, as he's lost P6, by the way, to Ben Smith going down those straights. We knew there'd be a lot of overtaking going down these straights here, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I said it again, didn't I? But he is. It's a pro fighting an amateur, so
Jack Hills is slow in the second chicane. What's happened here? Oh, he's missed a chicane. He's absolutely missed a chicane. Car just snapped straight for some reason, and he's had to basically hold on to the chicane and let cars go by while he's made himself safe. But he is now down into 30th position. Yes, 30th position.
I feel like a few cars, the cameras did have, a look into the pits and see who actually pitted. There's 3 guys in the pits at the moment. It was Dennis Van Ash, Chris Miles, and Taylor Lane. They were involved in incidents on the track itself. They've gone into the pits essentially on the first. Oh, sorry, we just had Oscar Coper going off the track. What's gone on, Bill? Let's see.
That's on Arch, isn't it?
Yeah, just coming up to the rear end of Adam Christo. He was side by side with another big boy, the 39. Oh, the 39 hitting his. Oh, that was very close.
Oh, that was very close. That was some bowling. If I've ever seen it.
Do you want to see a slow mo of what that looked like? It looked like this. Yoink.
A bit of Enya there, I think. Oh, there's no flipping, but that was. You got to be honest. That was somewhat fortunate that it only took Oscar out there and nobody else.
Because that would have been
yeah.
That would have been a oh my god, what has happened to my car moment.
Well, while that was happening, down into the entry of Indianapolis, Mayer yielded P3 to McNinch. So McNinch, if this was F1, the Manatee's just literally gone. McNinch, you are clear. You are clear. Your teammate has let you by. Push, push, push. And that is what he will be doing, and he is pushing. So Mayer has that top speed, just doesn't have the corner ability at the moment in this Ford to get a move on. So that will be the battle now. And actually, McNinch has just rocketed to the back of this lead duo. It's going to be a lead trio if they're not too careful any moment now.
The car of, I think that is. Sorry, I was just trying to see who it was. I think that is Hugh Haycock's having a slowdown there and trying to serve it in the middle of the Ford curves and then serving it on the pit straight. So I think he's not having a grand old time in the on the MP412C that he's commandeering this week. Whereas with Alan Cristo, he's blasting away. Starting in a 38th position, he's now currently in 22nd.
Yeah, Hugh Haycox, he started as well. He's made up 10 places. He started 33rd, currently sitting 23rd, so doing his best here. They're going to be using the back of Cristo here. Oh, did Stump get a slowdown there? I'm not entirely sure. That looked very wide, but we'll keep an eye on. I doubt it at the moment. These three in their own little bubble at the moment. No one else as well. The massive gaggle. I've just looked up the field. Like, what's this? This is... So that's P7 of Sellers, P8 of Miles, P9 of Yankee, 10 of Smith, 11th of Dreyer, 12th of Wills, 13th of Johnson. Are practically all there, and Andrew Miller's slowly catching up. How many cards did I just call off there?
I think about
6 cards?
Yeah, 4 or 5. I was thinking 4 or 5. It's definitely more than that, but it is a gaggle. And we have the cameras pointed at them right now as they're coming in. Ooh, very risky coming into the second Mulsanne chicane. Sorry, yeah. Harry Wills going a little bit airborne there. Got onto the embankment on the side of the road.
That caused him damage. That's caused him damage, actually. The rear is now no longer straight. And actually, his splitter's bent. That actually caused splitter damage for Wills. Well,
his car did go airborne. So I'd imagine so, but it's definitely not in the place where I would have expected the damage to be. I would have expected it to be in the on the actual splitter itself rather than halfway up the body of the car. But he's still challenging.
I doubt it would cause too much damage. He's now getting on the inside of Yankee. That is definitely Yankee, who started this lap 8, and I think he's now 12th.
He is indeed.
This gives you an idea of like basically the differential speeds and you get on the straight here. Struggling, but that is another position right now. And again, this gaggle is just, they're a little bit opened up now, as you'd expect, going through Indianapolis and Arch. But looks like they're just catching up themselves once again. But as I was saying earlier, this duo at the front is now a trio, and if they're not too careful, it would be 4 of them, because Meyer is catching them.
I would consider that a 4. Sorry, we're just seeing, I think that is Tom Johnson and Yankee. Yeah, it is Tom Johnson and Marius Yankee fighting side by side going into perfect curves. Yankee is definitely not a happy camper right now. He's just a little bit of a touch going into the entrance of Porsche curves. Still side by side coming up towards Corvette. They break away and Yankee keeps 12th position, but I was saying before, he's not having the best time in the world, I don't think, because he's going in the wrong direction.
And that should be a slowdown for Yankee as well. It looked like he did not get 2 tires back over the racing line coming out of Corvette. We'll wait and see. Excuse me. I think he's going to be okay. He did take a bit of an early break, but no, he should be okay with that. But I was surprised as they're still going. So we also see him move it. Eggerson's got a slowdown by the looks of it, as Stellers has just gone straight on. Yeah, that's a slowdown for Eggerson. So he was at the start of the lap P6, but because of that he has lost a couple spots now. He's sitting in P8. That's all he lost, only 2 spots after being in this massive gaggle, losing only 2 spots. Bit of an achievement, and as we see, Harry Wills is just starting to lose the slipstream, and I think that might be the splitter damage.
Well, he was definitely continuously charging even beyond the when he went airborne and tried to become a pilot. Wrong kind of vehicle to do it in, but I give him kudos for trying. Wrong place to do it.
We saw what happened when a car tried to go flying in the ERO on Saturday. It killed their engine. So he didn't go that high in the air, but he gained some airtime.
I'm just trying to see when these cars max out, the R8 specifically, because I know roughly when the MP412C maxes out. So that was 286 recorded by Louis Eggertson with slipstream coming into Mulsanne 1. I think the MP412C is actually one of the worst gearing options in the IMSA series. It's actually at top chat, it's actually not able to get up to the same speed that something like the the Mercedes can, the AMG Mercedes can, which can actually touch into the 290, I think.
Yeah. We don't actually see a lot of Mercedes. Actually, Tristan Iglesias is our fastest Mercedes on its own at the moment, coming down the Mulsanne kink out the second chicane. He's already doing 250, 260. He's going to get quite a bit of speed there. So like you said, he's at the top. He's in a little bubble on his own at the moment. By just 5.5 seconds in front of him is the Ford and the rest of the leaders. 5.5 seconds behind him is that massive gagger we were talking about. So he's on his own. He's just enjoying his race in that little Mercedes. And then behind him is the BMW of Bradley Sellers, who, let's be brutally honest, has done a good job to get that car into P6.
Just wanted to let you know that two cars did not start this race. Rick Cohen and Callum Bowman did not start, and they did not take the checkered flag. They did not even join the session, so hopefully they are all good and resting up for next week. And we have already had our first retirement. Oscar Coper has retired and is now well, I mean, he's retired. I was trying to get a second sentence in, but I can't think of anything else.
Jonas Dre's in the wall. Jonas Dre's in the wall at Indianapolis. Oh, and that's big damage. And that's also damage at the rear. What's happened here? Oh, he's lost the car going into Indianapolis, and he's hit Louis Eggleston.
Let's have a look at this. On the replay, they're just coming down to Indianapolis now. We'll just see the exact moment when the impact happened. Side by side, they were going into Indianapolis. Oh, and he lost control of the car. But I think Louis Eggleston is able to make it out of that. He's got a bit of damage to his left-hand side, but
the front's damaged. That's a lot of damage.
Well, more so to, I would say more so to Dreyer, who actually has now parked the car because, or well, not parked the car, he's towed it because of the amount of damage that he has. But I think Louis Eggleston can at least get back to the pits if he needs to use it. He can use it. I think there will be at least one pit stop.
Haycock's in the pits. Haycock's in the pits as well, and I cannot see what's happened to him.
Let me have a look, shall we?
While we're doing that, just to let you know, it's still Matsgay, Technow, Mintnich. That is your leaders at the moment. Mayer is starting to drop off the pack. He's still the lead amateur driver, so you can't really say too much about that.
Oh, Jeez!
Did I just see that?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Rip our boy. He was trying to go on the inside of... Oh! Let's analyze that again. I actually want to see it from a closer view. Let me just try and get a closer view of what happened here.
While you do that, I'm just going to keep people informed where they go side by side. McNinch is taking P2 away from Tech now. McNinch is in P2 while we watch this at the moment, and I just keep watching that. And what has happened there? I just can't get over that replay.
I've absolutely no idea, but that car does not look good. It's a big F for the boy. Get your F set in the chat.
So we keep an eye on there. Like I was saying, McNinch has taken P2 away from Tech now. So it's a Manatee 1-2. And I gotta be honest, can we see a Manatee 1-2 free today? That would be a first.
It would be possible. It just depends on if Jonas, or sorry, not Jonas, but if Joshua can keep on the rear end of Tech now for slipstream. He can't at the moment. He's too far back. I mean, the raw grunt will give you some pace, but I think it's just that the brakes, I think, are the main detriment of that car, and he's losing more and more time for every corner that happens. Not because of anything else, but the brakes. I think he's trying to not cause the car to spin when he slams onto the brakes.
Well, I got to be honest, this is actually really interesting at the front of the field. So let me run down the cars, right? Not the drivers or the teams, the cars. An Audi's in the lead, followed by a McLaren, followed by an Audi, followed by a Ford, who's followed by a Mercedes, who's then got a BMW behind him, then two Ferraris, then an Audi, and then a Ferrari. That's the top 10. And like the bottom of the top 10, you think, okay, Ferrari, Audi, that's fine. Then the front, and it's like, What's going on?
Yeah, why is there a 4th and 4th? This is not what was prescribed by the doctor. This is not.
This looks like it's Tom Johnson taking P10 away from Andrew Miller. So Tom Johnson has now moved up. He's taken a few spots this race. He's getting his spots back. Sorry, he started 10. He's now back to 10th. So some good going there by him. Yankee is just falling down the field. I'm not sure what's happened there. Is it a setup thing? Is he not getting the slipstream? Because we see Tech now at the front in a McLaren doing well. Is it just a case of setups? Because that McLaren does not look happy on the straights.
Might also be down to just what the driver is used to. I think for some people, even though Le Mans is, it has long straights, so you can keep the car straight and you can use the corners. You can get prepared for them. I think it's just that the technique is quite unique to this kind of track. You know, with the Nordschleife, you're kind of on 100% of the time, and there's only a little reprieve than the Dottinger straight. Whereas with Le Mans, there's several sections where it's just open track and it's nice, easy corners. I think it's very easy to actually not get optimal lap times in because you can lose focus. Let's just put it that way. But I think it's more. It might just be down to, Yankee just not having the best time with, Marius Yankee not having the best time with the guy. He's now done it in 15th. He's lost 3 positions.
Wow. Well, here's something I didn't think I'd be saying. A Manatee car has gone purple, and it's not Liam. I've just given it away. Liam McNinch has just gone purple. I wanted to build that up. I was like, it's not Liam. It's like, hang on, no, Liam is the one that's purple. Wow, I ruined that. Tech now still behind him, losing time though. In all due fairness, losing the gap a little bit. The gap at the moment is looking about half a second. He's now second behind Matsuke, so really losing out here. Meanwhile, Mayer's just like, okay, I'm fine. I'm just going to enjoy. Mayer and Iglesias have these 2 cars that you would think on paper shouldn't be there, and one of them is sitting P4 with no one around him, and the other one's sitting P5 with no one around him. All they basically got to do, touch wood, is not get a slowdown, and they're fine.
What happens if they do get a slowdown? Will they try and do some Alonso is faster than you, can you confirm this message kind of strategy?
I mean, if they're anything like me, and they've got a 5-second lead on someone, and they get a slowdown at Le Mans, they will swear, they will take the slowdown, they will get themselves tilted, and get themselves another slowdown because they're too worried about the car behind them. So basically, everything I just said, don't do if you get a slowdown. Simple as.
The pro tips of our boy in the cockpit. By the way, I will point this out. Linus Tech now is actually capping out. He's capping out at a really slow pace. He was capping out at 267 almost.
What?
Have a look at the speedo as he's climbing up the gearbox again. We're at 207, 210, 220, 230, 240. He's in 6th gear. There's no more gears. 260, 270. He's not near the rev limiter at 275.
Wow.
And Tim Maskey has to slow down.
Oh, Maskey's got to slow. What? Now this throws everything up right now. McNinch for the first time this season, will lead a lap. And he's actually got Tech now following him. Maskey's going to have to be careful here. He will be able to get past him. It's just a question of when he wants to get past him. I think the Bisson straight is going to be too short for him to make a move here. So he will just wait a little bit, I think. Maybe wait until the first Mulsanne straight, because he's actually losing a bit of time to these two at the moment. It'd be funny, because if this was... I'd be joking right now, they should be doing some bump drafting. But with Tech now capping out at 273, I saw. I don't think they can do that.
No, and I think it might also prove to Tim's advantage, because right now Linus Tech now is he's essentially getting a straw and sucking on that nice clean slipstream air, because not only does it make it faster, it saves the tires because he's not having to stress them as much. Well, very barely stressing them much because he's able to get down straights quicker. And he's also saving fuel because he's letting go of the accelerator much sooner, plus he's got the slipstream because there's no point in keeping the accelerator down all the way if you're at the limiter already.
No, exactly. I gotta tell you something funny. Every time it's a Le Mans week for ILMS or anywhere, I just loved to drive this track. So much so that I showed a photo of my last 10 races once, and they were all Le Mans for ILMS. And Linus just sent me a message going, "How can you do that much Le Mans?" He's not a huge fan of. He loves the track. I don't think he's a huge fan of lapping it. So I've got to be honest. I have tried what I can just to pull his strings a bit and tell him. I think earlier in the week he was saying he was bored. I said, "Hey Linus, you know what you can do? Get some practice laps in at Le Mans." And I don't think it went down very well.
No, I don't think something like that will go down well with a guy who's just trying to wrestle the fact that his car is basically limited on the pit on the straight. So, he's capped 280. Yeah, he's at the limiter right now. 280. Yeah, I saw 284, but I think he bounced off the rev limiter and then came back down. Whereas I think with the Audis as
Mitch had a bad line into that chicane. I thought for a moment he was going to lose the lead for a moment. Sorry to interrupt. It really just went, I don't know, it almost like he missed the apex and took a really fast line in it. It did not help him. But it's not enough for Tech now to make a move, because if he's getting capped at these speeds, what can he do? Nothing. Let's be honest.
No, there's not much you can really do, as Ben Smith, Harry Wills fighting alongside each other, going for 8th position, side by side, going down Mulsanne straight. Harry Wills was able to take the position coming into Mulsanne 1. Who will take the position going into Mulsanne 2? Harry Wills is the inside going into Mulsanne 2, so he will have the advantage initially. But if Ben Smith can keep the car side by side all the way through, and then exit on the inside line coming onto the end of the Mulsanne, but he can't. He has yielded the position back to Harry Wills, but he'll have another chance again going down into the end of Mulsanne, Virage de Mulsanne. And he's ahead this time, just by a whisker, I think. Just by a whisker on the inside line. So he'll have the advantage this time around. And I think Adam Wills will yield the position.
I don't know at the moment. They're fighting and they're fighting. Actually, Ben yields. I'm surprised at that, because that was some good move from Ben. He waited until the last minute going into the second chicane to back off. So he made Harry work for that. And you could see that Harry was then slower out of the second chicane, and Smith could have made a move. And here we go. Wills made a little bit of a mistake there, it looked like, coming out of the Mulsanne corner. And if they're going to be going side by side again, but again, Wills has the inside, so he should hold this pretty well. Shouldn't see anything yet. He holds it pretty well. Just holds onto the position. Hits the brake stone. That could be a late move. Ben Smith wanted a late move. Did not get it. That car is switching for Wills as well. Will Smith try it going into Arnage? He sends it in Arnage. Good move. Can they make it stick? No, he just had to compromise his exit. So great fighting there. He just cannot get by. And while this is happening, it's holding them up a little bit, as Johnson is just thinking, hey, I've got a chance of changing this P10 into a P9, because just holding on. But they go side by side again. Now it's definitely side by side. Wills has to hit the brakes. He finally yields, but they're still battling, because look how far Ben Smith has to go around for the Porsche curves. He will take the lead into the Porsche curves, and this will hinder Wills because of the dirty air coming through Corvette. Yeah, that's going to hinder him. Great battling by these two.
By the way, Ben Smith having to hold on for dear life as the Ferrari was sliding around almost as if it was about to spin, but still held it. Didn't die, which is grateful. But
Matsuke is P3, by the way.
I think you mean
Tech now is P3. Oh, did he lose it into Indy? He went. Yeah, he had a twitch at the back of the car. Tech now going into Indy. Had a bit of an off track, but had to yield P2 to Matsuke, and he's out of the slipstream.
Yeah, I can just see it there. The aftermath. Let's try and get back to before Indianapolis. They're going into Indianapolis now. Linus Tech now chasing the rear end. Oh, and he does. He has a really bad twitch, actually. Having to take evasive maneuvers and not hit the wall, but the evasive maneuvers have now cost him second place. Tim Matske is now back on the charge to reclaim his first position.
Just looking down the field because they're pretty much bunched out now. Tet now is away from the slipstream. That is going to hinder him. He might have to use Maya as a bit of a tow down the back of the field. Well, not the back of the field, still at the top of the field, sorry. Sellers defending from Miles, but Miles, he hits about 282. Then they come near to the breaking point of the first chicane, and he has to give up he has to just give up any type of fight. A lap car there, Josh Seymour's just going off on the chicane, being really nice actually, giving all the space. But at the moment, Sellers still holding on to this P6. Really good going, actually. I've got to be brutally honest. Where is Adam Christo? Adam Christo is 15th. He started 37th.
He's actually 14th right now because he just overtook Simon Dodd. So,
and Harry Wills. Sorry, Harry Wills. What's happened to Harry Wills? Oh, that wing is not looking good for Harry Wills.
Let's see if I can actually...
Dear.
Can I get a replay of that? Yes, I can get a replay of that. Let's have a look and see what happened to the poor car of Harry Wills on your screens now in the replay of dreams. I couldn't make up anything else to say. He's going through the Ford chicane. By the way, I meant to say Ford chicane before. I accidentally called it Ford curves, but I know it's Ford chicane. I just made a mistake. But thank you to whoever pointed that out. I appreciate you. Let's see exactly what happened, because I was told this was...
You replayed a bit far, because it's actually at the at Tete Rouge. He actually lost it going into Tete Rouge, actually before Tete Rouge.
Well, we've come this far. We might as well let it play through, as we've actually just passed the first half an hour. So there's an hour left. And I'm finding... Oh, there he is. Yeah.
Yep, I don't even know what to say. But he's gone. I'll tell you what I will say. McNinch is leading the race. Liam McNinch has the lead over Matske. And I think that's more of a slipstream thing.
You think... You're incorrect, Chief. It is now Tim Matske that's in the lead.
Well, McNinch was in the lead at one stage.
He was indeed, yeah, he was. He had been in the lead for a lap or two at that stage, but I think he's let Matske back through to essentially try and storm away. But I mean, here's the thing, though. In my head, I'm thinking there has to be some way that Linus can fight back. If he can't fight back on the track, can he fight back through strategy? He's been hugging the rear end of both of those cars.
Matske's just gone purple, though. Holy, Matske's just gone purple with a 3:56.4. That's a bit of a time difference. I gotta be brutally honest. Tech now did a 3:57 flat as he's catching McNinch. So it'll be interesting to see. But as you were saying, can he win this by just hogging the back? We've already talked about it. The slipstream is what he has to use. And while he's used that slipstream to keep his speed up, he's used that to also keep his fuel down. So he might get an extra lap. But I did hear earlier that they upped the fuel. Last time he checked the car, they upped the fuel consumption. And I think McNinch is going to have a slowdown there. How wide did he take that corner?
He took it quite wide.
Yeah, he's slowing down, I think. Is he? That has to be a slowdown.
He's matching the speed. I'm pretty sure it is a slowdown. He's matching the speed of what Linus Tech now is doing. Linus Tech now is doing 284. McNinch is 283. But there's no more puff in the car of Linus Tech now. You know, you just start reaching limiter and that's it. You can't go any faster. These Audis still have a few kilometers extra juice. By the way, that's Josh Mayer still in fourth position. I still can't believe how he's just there. Please don't.
To give an idea of how far ahead he is, the P2 in the amateurs is Ben Smith. Ben Smith is currently P8 overall. Ben Smith is 20 seconds behind Mayer.
So a little bit of a comfy cushion for him.
And we were talking about this gaggle earlier. So Ben Smith's P2 in the amateurs. 3 seconds behind him is Tom Johnson, who's P3 in the amateurs. Andrew Miller is 5.4 seconds behind Smith. So that's about a 2-second gap between himself. So one mistake and you've got a change in the podium positions in the amateurs.
Well, I mean, one mistake I think in either class is going to upset your race and essentially put the podium in somebody else's hands. As you see, just ahead of him, Martin Pierce and Neil Butler fighting side by side, coming down into second Mulsanne. The Midland Sim Racing guy versus the Cat guy. So it's a piece of industrial equipment versus the Midlands, essentially.
I'm just visualizing this right now. The Midlands versus the Caterpillar. Who would win? Who would win?
The entirety of the Midlands or one crane boy.
The Caterpillar do more than cranes.
Well, I mean, I'm more talking about like how. Oh, there's actually a crane in the background as well. There that I think about. I just see like, it's not even a crane. It's one of those. Well, it technically is a crane because it's got an extension arm and you can stand on it. I'm
oh, isn't it the camera boom?
Yeah, the camera boomer. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I remember that. Thanks to Ant Davison's crash, a few years ago. God, that was years ago, and I still remember it vividly.
Hang on a minute. They do. So, Cat does fashion.
Caterpillar do fashion?
No. What? Oh, I'm looking this up right now.
Yeah. I've got. I've just searched for cat clothes, and it's giving me images of cats in outfits.
Hey Siri. Search for Caterpillar. Search for Caterpillar clothes.
You're just gonna get pictures of caterpillars in jumpers.
Oh no. Catworkwear.com. Oh baby.
Did you just advertise? Oh my god.
They actually do have fashion. And you know what's even worse? There's a shirt you can get. It's 25% off. You can also get 50.
No, don't tell people. We're not shilling. We're not shilling Caterpillar. Let's shill out the sim racing rigs. Our sponsors.
Yeah, I do actually want to say that as well. I did show the image before, but I'll show it again. I appreciate Racing Sim Rings for sponsoring the series, the title sponsors, and they are bringing the racing home. And they have the prizes for the RSR World Series, and it's a nice little sim ring if you come in first position of either Am or Pro.
Also, not to mention, they now have their own Discord and Instagram. So do come and ask us. We can send you their way, whether it is Discord or Instagram or their website. We can send you their way. We can send you their way on our own Discord, by the way. Check underneath the video. There's a link to Discord, and because Rob hasn't done it yet, the fantastic cameras from trackcams22.com, who provide these great cameras that we are using.
I just noticed, by the way, speaking of track cams, I just saw a security camera, but it's aimed towards the track.
Have you never watched Le Mans at night?
No, I have seen Le Mans at night, but I'm not talking about like a night vision camera. I'm talking about, oh, sorry, just to say, there's a car gone off. Who was that? It's Adam Crystal just passed. It's a car in 34th position. It's James Goldstein going off at Mulsanne 1. What earth happened to him? Oh, no, it's not.
Oh, it is
Who
Goldstein.
is it?
Goldstein's off.
No, Goldstein.
Goldstein was off a while ago. What's
by the way, Louis Egerton is in the pits trying to get some damage repaired. Who is that it's 34th position on his like headlights or on his heads-up display, but it's not in 34th position. It's somebody else.
Well, that would be Josh Seymour, wouldn't it? He was 34th.
I I feel like we're so much scrubs, or the biggest scrubs in the game.
But okay, back to your question. No, it's not. There is no infrared cameras out at Le Mans at night. The guys at the camera stands at night on the back in like places that aren't down by the racing track, the racing track part of the track. They go to sleep, and basic cameras are provided by the security cameras that are put around the area. So if there's a crash at the Porsche curves, you won't get a camera able to move for you. It will just be a static camera. Same with the S's before Terre Rouge. I think that's where we had the massive crash of the Audi. The same year Alan McNish had his near fatal crash. Because let's be honest, that nearly was fatal for somebody. It was just the fact that all we could see was just a car going off. We never actually saw what happened to the car. We just knew it was big. As Matt's gate just at the front, by the way, almost gets a slowdown. Just a bit too close there for comfort, but we'll hold on to the lead. It's still Matt's gate, McNinch Tech now at the front. But yeah, at night time there are no cameras. You've just got the security cameras.
Oh, he's got a slowdown, by the way.
Has he?
Yeah, he does. He let go of the accelerator, and he let go of it in a really weird position. Like, I'm pretty sure you can take the first turn flash out in these cars.
Oh, he's got a slowdown now. He's got a slowdown now.
Yeah, he did have a slowdown. He didn't serve it though. He didn't serve it on straight. And if he waited too long, he would have actually gotten the furlough black flag for not serving it. Absolutely.
I don't think so, because it counted his last lap. So that slowdown would have come from Dunlop. Because if he had a slowdown, he wouldn't have had a valid last lap. So he got a slowdown at Dunlop there. So he's back in P3. It will take him a lap to get back to P1.
Are you a betting man?
No, I just feel lucky. So Egerton's still in the pit. He's getting lapped. So what happened to Egerton?
We had that damage with the collision.
Oh yeah.
And he's parked the car. He's actually in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, too much. Yeah, too much for it. Yeah, that was a shame. We did see it. You were unfortunately, Egerton was once again. I hate to say it. Once again, Egerton was the victim of bad luck in wrong place, wrong time, or wrong. And just got caught out there from a car just losing it beside him. So that's a shame. So we do have a few retirements already. Copper, Haycox, Dreyer, Yankee, Goldstein, Seymour, and now Egerton to add to the list.
Just seeing Adam Cristo in the AMG. He's stretching them legs quite a lot. He's catching onto the rear end of Neil Butler and Martin Pearson of amateurs, and two of them are fighting at the moment to try and secure, I think that is fifth position in amateur class.
You know, I would love to know what lap times Cristo is doing. One small issue: his last 4 laps, he's had a slowdown at the final corner, and is forced to slow down. Then he slowed down later than the start-finish line, so he doesn't have a Richardson lap. I would love to see his times.
Right now, by the way, Berserker is asking what's going on in the amateur field. If iRacing, or sorry, not iRacing, if Atvo didn't break the timing board, I would have let you know. But what I can tell you is that Josh Mayer is leading the amateurs in 4th position overall. Then it's Ben Smith, Tom Johnson, Andrew Miller, Martin Pearson, Neil Butler, Simon Dodd, Stefan Kurzman, Matt Heatrick, Harry Wills, Christian Firth, Simon Marshall, Chris Hamer, Sebastian Rain, and Mark Bailey. Those are in the top 25 overall.
That is the top for the amateurs at the moment. Like we were saying, Joshua Mayer in the Ford. I mean, I don't think it's no longer a joke. Let's be brutally honest. This thing is strong, and it's proving it, because Mayer is doing a great job at the front there. Yeah, we can talk about the car isn't geared right. You keep talking, I'm just cursing people.
Did he, by any chance?
Almost lost the car in Corvette. Almost.
So I'm gonna have to replay now, haven't I?
No, it was only a small grass move, but it was more the fact that if he didn't get off the brakes, get off the accelerator, he would have spun the car. He would have spun the car in all due fairness.
Let's have a look. Coming through Ford now, or sorry, not Ford. He's coming through Porsche curves on the replay. Coming up towards Corvette. And ooh, on the grass. Oh, a little bit of a skid. Oh, there's a bigger skid. Sliding through Corvette on the embankment on the outside. Luckily he does not get a slowdown, and luckily his pants are staying on and not brown.
I remember he has a direct drive wheel in a Ford. I mean, do I need to say any more?
Not really. No, that just sounds like sounds like death.
Okay. So he's got a direct drive wheel. And that's fine, you know. I mean, the forces will still be hard. How do you make the forces worse? Oh, I don't know. Let's get a car that has really bad suspension and bounces everywhere. Yeah, that's really good. He almost ripped his arms off doing Nordschleife last week. No, the week before. Sorry.
So, it's Liam McNinch, Linus Techno, Tim Matke, top 3 for pros, and for amateurs, it's Josh Mayer, Ben Smith, and Tom Johnson, top 3 for amateurs. Liam McNinch clinching the lead away from Tim Matske because of Tim Matske's slowdown through what I believe now it was a cut at Dunlop chicane at the start of the lap that basically gave him a nice quick slowdown. By the way, a note on the slowdown, on the amount of times we've said slowdown, they are indeed slowdowns. I'm on, in particular on iRacing, uses slowdowns rather than off tracks to punish cars for going outside the course limits, which I think is actually pretty close cut to what the real life race control does. It's slowdowns and drive-throughs instead of just being like, oh, you've got an incident, I'll slap you on the wrist.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people do have a bit of complaint. There are some people that don't understand how Le Mans works, and will come to Le Mans. I don't want to call people out. It's mostly people that never watch Le Mans, and they'll question why they're getting an off track at these places. And it's like, well, you realise that they can't make a proper track because it's a road part. You're putting a chicane on a real road. Mm-hmm. So you've got all that tarmac. So they can't put gravel there because of safety. So it's all tarmac, and that's where you get your slowdowns. So when people complain, why am I getting a slowdown here? Because technically the track's there. It's like, yeah, but you can see the curb. The curb is your racing line. And it's really good how iRacing were able to do this at Le Mans. And to be fair, after a while, you know what is an off-track and what is not an off-track in your car. And I'll tell you right now, when you go from an Audi R18 LMP1 car into something like a GT car like or GT3 car like these guys, an Audi's right-hand drive. A GT3 car is left-hand drive. Let me tell you how confusing that is when you've gotten so used to driving a right-hand drive car over the off tracks.
I'd say it would be very confusing.
There was a good quote from Quirkatized during his birthday last weekend, in the weekend, where he was driving the DP, and he was so used at Road America. He was so used to driving a GT car that's got left-hand drive. Well, you know, DP doesn't have that. It's more like a center drive. Mm-hmm. That he spun out at the last corner of Road America. I think because he was just so used to driving that type of car and knowing where his reference points were.
Yeah, that's another thing as well. It's reference points in iRacing and in racing in general is quite useful. But if you rely on it too much, you can sort of become what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like a you have a dependency on it, more so to the point than just relying on it for, okay, I'm going to brake, turn in, and then kiss the apex coming out. It's going to be, I'm going to brake, kiss the apex at this exact moment. These set of pixels are going to be on my screen and my screen only. And then I'm going to have a run out that's going to extend this exact amount, and so on and so forth, until you get to minute details, and that is when you essentially become too dependent on something like markers and reference points.
Tom Johnson is in the pits, as is Simon Dodd. Just a bit early for pit stops, is it? No, it isn't. We're just over halfway, so no, I don't think that is too early. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's about the right time. Halfway, pit in, looks fine. So we are technically in the window, the pit window. Be interesting to see who comes in first out of the leaders. As Matsuge wants to make a move on tech now, cannot, and all of a sudden, what I said about 10 minutes ago about Matsuge getting back into the lead in 2 laps, yeah, I might have to eat my words.
Yeah, remember, it's all about, it's more than just...
It's more than just... Yeah. I don't hear you, Rob. Have you muted your microphone? Okay, Rob has no microphone. Hello, I'm on my own for the moment until he gets it fixed. That's good enough for me. 40 minutes to go. This battle at the front still raging on. Not much to see really at the moment. Oh my god, that's a little bit dangerous. They all just take a different line getting ready to break into Indianapolis, and I think to myself sometimes, oh, they're going for a move, but it's just them making sure that they just split out and don't crash into the back of the guy behind. Oh, Techna's gonna slow down? Linus has a slowdown at Indianapolis? That can't be true. No.
Well, the DAC died, so I had to restart it. But to restart it, I had to be like, interviews rescreen.
Wow. Okay. You didn't miss much, apart from Tech now losing P2.
Yeah, well, no, I did see that. We'll actually replay that for the entertainment of guys watching at home. Just rewind it just a bit further back. They did the overtake at Indianapolis. I know that much. Or coming out of the
coming out of Indianapolis.
So this is what you guys missed. There we go. You can see the move
in the pit. Sorry, McNinch in the pits. The first of the leaders is in the pits, and I thought McNinch was like holding on a lot. You know, he was behind for quite a while, so I'm a little bit surprised he's come in first. Mayer in the pits as well. Would this start a chain reaction? Well, Iglesias, yes. Miles will be the next one. Will he come in?
Oh,
let's just have a look. He does.
Iglesias having a little bit of a moment coming into the pits. Hopefully he's not done a transgression. Oh, nice. The Rolex timer is actually kind of accurate.
Smith in the pits. Stump in the pits. Miller will be in the pits. So, Miller has a little bit of a moment coming around there. So basically everybody but the leaders at the moment are pitting. So look at this. Gaggle, Butler, Christo and Pearson all coming in together into the pits. Hello, that was the order they came into. Butler, Christo, Pearson. I wonder what their position will be as they come out of the pits. That'll be interesting to see.
It'll depend on how much they spend in the pit box and how quickly they can get on the accelerator shouty boy button.
Well, Christo's first because he did not set a time. He's also in a Mercedes. The other two are in Ferraris. And Butler's in, and then Pearson's right in front of Butler in terms of the pit stalls. So we'll keep an eye out to see which of these go first. Heyman does not pit, by the way. It looks like it, or is he? I cannot see. We'll see in a minute. But they're going to take a lot of fuel on. A lot of gas guzzling is going on right now. They won't take tyres. These tyres will last all the way. Now, this is the slowest race I've ever seen in my life. Where is Christo? Is he going by? Harry Will's coming to the pit. Everybody's coming into the pit. Everybody in. Everybody in, they say. Apart from Tom Johnson. And it will be Butler first. Oh, that's an early one. And then Christo. And then Christo. So Butler, it looked like Butler fueled less than Pearson. He was in the pit box less time, I think.
Just seeing now that Adam Christo actually leapfrogged the car of Martin Pearson. He's actually gone. Ooh, that was very close, wasn't it? That is Dennis Van Ash. I'm gonna eat my own words. I said he gained a position in the pits, and then he lost one because Dennis Van Ash just screamed by.
That was interesting.
That was
so
extremely close.
basically, everybody but the leaders pitted. And when I say the leaders, one of them pitted. Tech now is going side by side with Matsuke. I think he wants to get this done now. Matsuke is on the inside though, going to Indianapolis, but he's a car length behind. Tech now for the first time this race will take the lead. Matsuke says no. Matsuke says no. They're side by side from Indianapolis. Matsuke is going to hit the curb and onto the dirt. He will lose that lead at the moment coming into Arnage. Matsuke was the push. No, yes, can't get it through. So he will lose the lead. Tech now for the first time this race has the lead, but of course we know that McLaren tops that a little bit early. How quickly will Matsuke get this back? And Tech now will take the inside line. My God, Matsuke is already there. He's already there. They're side by side going into Porsche. Who will give up first? No one's giving up. They're side by side going into Porsche. They're still side by side. Don't hit the wall, guys. They're still side by side going into Corvette. Tech now wins the fight. Matsuke yields and says touche. Ooh, that was a little bit scary going into Porsche.
Whew, okay, so I'm gonna have to use the restroom. Not really, but I'm gonna have to use the restroom after that because, whew, that was close, wasn't it? They're both coming into the pits now.
So they were about 53 seconds ahead of McNinch, who was the leader. So we keep our eyes on McNinch. Where is he? Well,
he is just coming up through Boisson.
Yeah, into Ford. So now I'm not sure about the fuel rates. I'm not sure about the fuel tanks or anything like that between Technow and Matsuke. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out first. But Technow takes an earlier pit stall to Matsuke. That would be interesting. Matsuke still has to go in there. He's finally in. Be interesting to see where they go. McNinch now 30 seconds behind them, and 30 seconds doesn't sound like he's got it. But remember, Le Mans is a very slow pit lane, and then you don't get up to speed pretty fast when you've got the other guys we saw earlier with Van Asch just getting past them.
So it'll be a very tight. You can see now we've got the two cameras. You can see Lee McNinch on the right hand side. So who will move first? It'll be Linus Tech now moving first. Tim Matsuke, what's happened? He's lost, I think, about a second. Lee McNinch is in the cameras. There he is. So Linus Tech now comes out ahead by 3 seconds.
Linus Tech now is a master of fuel saving. Now, he hasn't saved all that fuel from just staying behind. A lot of it is the McLaren's fuel rate, but at the same time, how much has he fueled? Is he going to have to rely on these guys behind? Is that I don't know, but 3 seconds? I don't know if he'll keep the 3 seconds. Remember, we're talking about this top-end speed from the McLaren isn't very good. But McNinch and Matsuke have to work together now if they want to get this win back. If one of them wants this victory, they're going to have to work together because that's a big gap between those two and the leader.
The 3 seconds is the gap. 3.2 seconds to be exact is the gap between Liam McNinch and Linus Tech now. And for the first time ever, Tim Matsuke is on the back foot because he's in third. But he is not in a gaggle. He's in a gaggle of 2, and that 2 does not include Linus.
Adam Christo is P11. He's just taken over 2 guys, Pearson and Butler, who both had to take slowdowns in the start-finish straight. And that was perhaps the slowest race I've ever seen because they were both trying to serve their slowdown while also fighting each other. So Pearson has taken the position, and that's kind of crucial because that is P3 in the amateurs we're talking about here.
P4. You're forgetting.
P4.
You're forgetting.
Miller and
yeah.
Smith.
No, I thought you were forgetting Meyer because he's so far ahead. of everybody else. Like Meyer, unless he crashes, Meyer essentially got that top. Well, touch. Yeah, well, hang on. Touching my wood. Please don't put that on race events.
No.
But you know, Josh Mayer, unless something very bad happens to him, he's 29 seconds ahead of Ben Smith. So essentially, he can just cruise on to the finish, and he can essentially, you know, say, "I had this in the bag from the start." But it's all to play for in the background, because it's. Well, actually, when I say that, it doesn't look like that, because it'll be only a battle for fourth position essentially, as Martin Pearson, I think, wants to look on the inside, and he does look on the inside. He wants to pass Adam Christo, and he does, but it's an amateur racing a pro, so I don't think this is what realistically should be happening. I think Adam Christo.
Look, Markin, think about it for a moment. What's that just done for Pearson? Now Butler has to get past a car to try. Well, then again, hang on. Here goes Christo, just gonna easy go by. But you get what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
If he can, even if he's got to fight Christo, he's putting a car between himself and Butler for P4. And okay, it's not a podium, but that P4 will go a long way in the championship standings.
Absolutely.
So
I said absolutely again. Damn it.
We're going to have to start a drinking game. Words from the YouTube chat, by the way, from Nathan Maness. Good evening, Nathan. He's not surprised at the McLaren so far in the lead. The hyperfuel, he says. I'm not sure if that means the McLaren's on some sort of secret fuel or not, but we'll never know. What we do know is that he started out the pits 3.2 seconds ahead of Matsuke. At the moment, it's under 3 seconds. It's about 2.7. So we'll just see when Matsuke crosses the line. Yeah, it's 2.7 seconds is the gap. So, which is funny because he had a faster lap there, but at the same time he's also slower.
Well, he's slower because he got out of the pit stall. I think it was, if I do the mental math, it was 2.4 seconds slower than what Linus Techno did, and he spent an extra second just in the pit lane alone. So he lost a second in the pit lane, and he lost 2.4 seconds in the pit stall due to a longer stop. If he can make it up, perfect. But you know, he can only make it up really on the straights, because that's where the distinct advantage in the Audis lie, where they can actually go a few kilometers faster than the McLarens can do, due to the way that the gearing works. But I think Linus will be trying to drive his socks off when it comes to everywhere else on the track.
Drive everything. Just push. Can he keep pushing is the question. Adam Christo is now back into 11. We got to talk about Miles Stumpf, though. Adam Christo's made 26 positions up. That's fantastic. Miles Stumpf's made 23 positions up, and it's just sitting there in 9th position, just out of nowhere. So, it's doing really well when you think about it as well. Matching Christo in terms of position prowess. Doing his best, actually, and he is catching as well. Stumpf, I mean, we thought Christo was a bit of a shock not setting a lap time, but Stumpf as well, when you think about the results he's had for Manatee. So, him there making his way slowly through the field. We've got just under 30 minutes left to go, 27 minutes left to go. It's quite a bit of a surprise. You know what is a surprise?
What is a surprise?
Iglesias is actually catching Mayer. Just a little bit.
What?
The Mercedes is slowly catching the Ford. I'm pretty sure the gap was not 6.8 seconds at one stage.
No, it was like 10.
Yeah. There's your answer. Definitely catching.
I'm just going cross-eyed, just being like, huh?
Yeah, no, we know that there's been, about to say, there has been some issues with YouTube all day. So, if there is an issue, we are on Twitch at the same time, twitch.com/RadionTV. Obviously, we kind of prefer using YouTube. But yeah, if you do have issues, do use our Twitch channel. Wasn't Marius Yankee also driving? Yes, he was, and he crashed out. Unfortunately, he crashed out 9 laps ago. We're on lap 16, so yeah, about 9 laps ago, he unfortunately crashed out.
I'm just doing some analysis here. If the current pace between Tim Matske and Linus Techno were to continue as they cross, I'm just trying to get, I'm more so trying to look to see.
Are you going to be AWS right now? You're going to say overtake in 5 laps or something?
No, because I'm accurate.
Oh!
Boom, roasted. But I'm just trying to see what the lap times are looking like. So it's a 3:57.04. Linus was he's 500. He's 500. 5/100ths. I'm having a brain aneurysm.
5/100ths of a second faster.
Yeah, 500ths of a second faster than Matske. So, realistically speaking, if this pace continues, Linus Techna could theoretically win a race. Wouldn't that be something for the books?
Well, he did win a race at the start early in the season, but it was removed from him. He had a 5-second penalty after an incident during the safety car where he cut the course. So he has won before. He just got vettled.
They say you cut the course. You'll have to slow down. You have to give back 4 seconds.
But you were talking about Matske and Tech now in that last lap. McNinch was faster than both of them. A 3:56.871. That's 3/10 faster than Matske. That's 2/10 faster than Tech now. I don't want to put my money on a horse right now, but McNinch has actually got a chance here. So don't rule him out yet. If they're going to catch the back of Tech now, McNinch could do some late gas heroics.
I'm just trying to keep the silence because it's like all you can hear is like just a long streak. You can just hear the cars just in the background, and then you just hear them going closer and closer, and you know what's coming. You just hear them whizzing by, and then when you do whiz by, you're just like, that was good.
So do we want to talk about some more black and yellow cars? More importantly, 3 of them. Because this little gaggle of Christo, Butler, and Pearson is not going away anytime soon. As Christo is slowly trying to pull away. But you know what it's like at Le Mans. You cannot pull away when you come down the Mulsanne straight. There's no way. As Butler does have P4 over Pearson, but for how long? Especially with this slipstream. The only grace that Butler has is that he has slipstream himself. So he can keep this position on Pearson as long as he keeps Christo in front of him for the slipstream. That's not an easy task at the moment.
No, and if he loses the slipstream, he's basically open to getting overtaken, especially on these Mulsanne straights where it's just a slipstream battle, and it's 2 equal cars, so there's no real, well, in terms of bop anyway, there's no real difference between the two, so you'll have to fight on equal terms. And when one side of the equal terms has slipstream, it's essentially a goodbye position for now. Ooh, sorry, I know Krista going very wide coming out of the second Mulsanne. Hopefully he didn't take some air. Hopefully. It doesn't. I don't see anything, but he did definitely have a bumpy ride going through it.
He hit the bump, but the back just slid him out a little bit. Nothing too serious, so no damage. That's amazing. It's very weird how iRace saying, "Oh, you've gone over a bump there. We're just going to destroy your splitter and bend the back of your car for no reason whatsoever." The gap, by the way, from Tech now Matske is now 2 seconds. No idea what's happened to Tech now, but he is slowly losing that lead. So when they cross the line, it'll be interesting to see what the lead is. Oh, that is a slow car holding up Matske. That's Anthony Johnson.
I think that was the reason why. I think that was the reason why Techno was slow because he had to get by the slow car, and that held up Tim Matske, I think, just a little bit. But let's see what the next gap is looking like. It's 2 seconds.
What's happened to McNinch? Hang on, Rob. Why is McNinch all the way down the field, all the way down behind them?
Let's have a look.
Oh, he spun out a Corvette. Oh, he lost it at Corvette.
And oh well, there was another car joining him as well because yeah, so he lost control of the car. Thankfully, he didn't hit the wall, so you know, at least that's going for. But he's now out of the contentions for battling for second place.
So in that last lap, Tech now 3:57.768. Matske 3:57.072, and the gap is closing as they come down the Mulsanne straight. The gap is now 1.7. So Matske's doing it. He's got 5 laps to do it in. That sounds really weird. There's 20 minutes left, and it's going to be about 5 laps, but that sounds weird when you look at it like that. Welcome to Le Mans, people. I love it. But he is slowly catching, as slowly as you can on a straight. Doing all he can, but yeah, McNinch, thankfully, no damage. He will have to, unless there's a massive accident in front of him, and I hope not, McNinch will take home a P3. As there hasn't even, that car just gone off in front of them. That's Anthony Johnson, who's lost the car, and he's done the fair thing. He's towed it. He hasn't decided to try and get the car facing the right way again. No, hang on, has he actually collided with someone?
Wait, did he collide someone?
Oh no! He just clipped the back of Matske. Matske's got a bent wing.
Let's have a look. On board with Tim Matske now, going through. Are you sure that's it? Are you sure Tim Matske? He hit Tim Matske on the replay. It seems to be. All right, we're coming on to the next chicane. So let's see what exactly took place. So we see Tim Matske chases down Linus Tech now. Seems fine. You can see Anthony Johnson in the background. What happens?
You got to watch this. You have to watch this. This is incredible. You won't see Johnson in the mirror right now until you see him hit, and you don't see him hit. You have to look behind. Anthony Johnson apparently had a rig issue. He went straight into the wall. He went straight into the tires without braking.
Oh, I see it there. Jesus.
Yep. And Matske is losing time with that wing damage to Tech now.
Exactly what Matske did not want, and what Linus Tech now. Well, he definitely didn't want that, but he's definitely got some breathing space. But I don't think Matske is letting it get him down because he's still keeping up with him. By the way, I'm just going to take a call, so I'll be right back.
Well, he'll take a call. It will be in a while. I'm not going to speculate what the call is. It could be our latest sponsors. You know, raking in that money now, boys. We're getting our own little Audis and stuff. No, I'm only joking. I wish. Can we have an onboard of the Ferrari? We can't have it at the moment, but basically what happened, Nathan, was the car went just straight on. Apparently he had. I mean, there was no real big contact. That's the scary thing. Was there was no real contact. I've never. In fact, if I look at it again, I would want to say it's netcode. I'll have a quick look again. I would love to say. Oh my god. I have never seen netcode like that. So, Pearson's car slides, never touches Matske. Never touches Matske, and a few seconds afterwards, the game just decides, oh, you made contact with him. We're gonna bend your wing. And I wish that wasn't true, but it is. And that's a shame. But like you said, is keeping up with Tech now. In fact, he was faster that lap. He had a bent wing, and he was faster than Tech now that last lap by 0.2 of a second. Even after netcode cannot stop this man. Has he been there has been the talk that he has been genetically modified in a German laboratory. Is it true? Possibly. That's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. Christo is now 9 seconds up the field from Pearson and Butler. Have they had it coming together? That would be interesting to see. They will cross the line now. 4 minutes. No coming together, but they're now well behind Christo. Christo's just really put the speed on there, so they will not be using that slipstream now. Pearson is in the lead. Well, it's ahead of Butler, so that's P4 and 5 in the amateurs. We still have Mayer leading the amateurs in 4th position in this Ford that basically is unstoppable in the straights. Simply put, that's all we can say about that. So, what else do we have here? Ben Smith has just had a slowdown by the looks of it. Loses a couple positions, but it's only Sellers and Stump. It's no amateurs, so that's the P2 in the amateurs. He's 16 seconds ahead of Andrew Miller, who is P3 in the amateurs. Tech Now is, I'm not sure what Tech Now's talking about, but there is things going on right now. I think he's just asking the slower car in front just where he's going. Matsuke is 2.2 is the gap now 2.3. So where he will lose time in the straight, I think he'll be able to gain time in the corners. And yes, Jack Hills, the lap car, does slow down there and let them by. So good work all around there. Iglesias is, remember how I was saying Iglesias was catching up to Mayer? He's not catching up anymore. So he will be, well, he's still going to be P4 overall for the pros. Bradley Smith, Sellers, sorry, and Mount Stump going side by side, it looks like. Going side by side down into the Mulsanne corner. And actually it's Stump going around the outside and gets to position. Good move there. So Stump has moved up to P7 overall in the race after starting 32nd. Wow. So while we look at that, anything else? We just have a look at down the field. There's not much happening down the field. A lot of cars with damage all on them. Harry Wills still with damage. You've got Mark Sonderman a bit clean. You've got Simon Marshall with some damage, with Chris Hamer trying to catch him, but the back of that car has been dented in. Side by side goes Van Ash and Dodd. Van Ash had a moment and had to go into the pits earlier. He's fighting his way back. He's overtaken, but he's gone a little bit screwy in the second chicane. Does hold on to it though, so that's good. But everyone is so spread out at the moment. It's crazy how spread out they all are. I mean, the battle we were looking at was Matsuke and Tech Now, and this is crazy. Matsuke has that bent wing, and Tech Now did a 356. Did a 356.802. That's the fastest lap for Linus all race. And Matsuke puts a 356.746. Even when Tech Now is going fast, Matsuke with a bent wing is going faster. So he is losing time on the straight. In fact, what was the gap? The gap was 1.8 when they crossed the line, Matsuke and Tech Now. At the moment it's 1.6 and it's slowly catching. He gained some time before the first part of Mulsanne, and he's lost all that time going into the second part of Mulsanne, going to the first chicane. Tim hasn't reported any damage. Well, the replay has shown a bent wing. So I'm hoping it's a replay bug, because the netcode on that was crazy, if I'm brutally honest. So, actually 270, yeah, it doesn't even look like, I mean, everyone's now saying we hope it's netcode damage, and so do I, because at the end of the day, he's not losing time on the straights, and with a wing like that, and we can all see the wing, like you say, Tim hasn't said anything about it, with the wing there, you would think with a wing like that there would be damage, so it might just be netcode. But every time I go back to him, there is damage. So No idea. And I'm hoping there is no damage. But he is catching. Oh, there is. They're all pretty much spread out at the moment down the field. So let's just roll down the list. You can see it in at the corner, of course. A lot of amateurs and a lot of amateurs down the middle of the pack. With a lot of pros at the front there. With Tech now, Matsuke, McNinch, and then May in the amateurs. Iglesias and Miles and Stump Sellers in the pros. Smith followed by Miller, and then Adam Cristo himself. We were talking about Stump. Stump has made up 25 positions. Well, Cristo's doing his own thing there, and he's made up 26 positions. Almost onto the back of Andrew Miller here, and that would be helpful for him. He's getting some slipstream. Has done sub 4 minute times, so hats off to him. He does have that racing pedigree, pro racing driver. Like I said, he's won numerous 24-hour races, but never been to Le Mans. And, you know, I did say it's my favourite track, so he better go to Le Mans one day. But not doing bad, to be fair. In a slow car, 4 minutes. Pretty respectable times for someone that's never really driven the track before. So, good going from Cristo there. Yeah, we see Anthony Johnson in the chat who had that accident that caused the netcode damage on Matsuke. As I thought it was a hardware failure. So Rally on TV is now 3 hardware failures in 3 races, and one of those races had no hardware failures. We've had a VR headset die, we've had a steering wheel die, and now we've had pedals die. So that's really interesting to see. What it is interesting is the gap is now under 1.5 seconds. Matsuke 356.487. Tech now 357.038. As Rob gets on the replay, this complete view of Anthony Johnson comes around the first chicane. I'm on a little bit of a delay because I'm looking at the stream. Misses the first chicane, and you can see there must be some issues there coming down to the start, coming down to the second part of the straight, and it's just any minute now you're just going to see it. Just a loss of the speed, loss of the pedals, just going to go straight into that wall. And I don't know how they managed to get through that wall. How you managed to get through that wall in one piece without causing too much damage. Slices the needle and then spins and just taps Matsuke somehow. And I think it must be damage. Because look at that. Seriously though, I am impressed that you were able to go full speed through that gap with little damage. I really am surprised at that. With this other camera here, just ooh, yeah, just full power. It felt like. While that was going on, Matsuke was about to hit the slipstream of Tech now, and has lost a little bit of time there. So I think he might have gone off, or he might have had a bit of a moment. Regardless, gap is 1.5. Elsewhere, there's no other real battles going on. Cristo has overtaken Andrew Miller, so that will be for P10. So 27 places gained for Cristo, 25 for Stump, and it's almost like a little battle. I mean, Stump won't be able to get up to P5 on Iglesias, or might be able to catch Adam Miles. There's 7.5 minutes left. We'll have to go Stump though. He's only going a second faster than Miles, so I doubt he'll be able to. But if he could get that, that would actually be a P5 overall. And if he comes back to get a P5 overall after starting almost at the back of the field, one hell of a drive. You see the gaps to the leader. Let me just run down these gaps at the moment. So we know it's 1.7, 1.5 between Tech now and Matsuke. Between Matsuke and McNinch, it's 17 seconds. That's different. It's 13 seconds between McNinch and Mayer. 10 seconds between those two. Then you get to Adam Miles. He's 15 seconds. And Mal Stump's 6 seconds behind him. Then you've got 4 seconds for Smith. Then a second for Sellers. That's probably the closest outside the leaders. Followed by Adam Christo and Andrew Miller. The gaps are pretty much spread out at the moment as Christo throws his fastest lap in that last lap, a 3:58.6. But with 6 minutes left, it's safe to say that we are coming down to the penultimate lap of the race, and the gap between Teknow and Matsuge is 1.2 seconds. 1.1 as I say that. So it's safe to say, I keep saying safe to say, you got to say this right now, that if Matsuge can get a good opening section of this next lap, he'll be in slipstream coming down the Mulsanne straight, and he might take the lead. Yeah, he's now a second behind Teknow as they cross the line. Teknow a 3:56.687. Matsuge's gone purple, a 3:56.421. 2 laps to go, 5.5 minutes to go. It's definitely game on. Matsuge with the netcode damage. That is not real damage by the looks of it. It is superficial. Is on the hunt for the lead again. The gap is slowly closing, and if this was F1, he's in DRS range.
And by the way, you have to drink for that because you did the same thing I did, where you said the same words over and over and over again.
Yep, don't worry.
By the way, I'm back for the penultimate, it is the penultimate, as Murray Walker would say. This is the penultimate lap.
He's not gaining, is he? Matsuge's in the slipstream, but he's not gaining on Teknow. What has Linus found in this McLaren to make him go fast?
A big old boost button. But
look, from Matsuge though, and if Matsuge's going to win this, he has to get a great Porsche. He has to get a great section in the Porsche curves and Corvette. And then he will have to be on the back of Teknow. And then Linus has to basically either defend or use the slipstream to get by. This is going to be an interesting final lap. I don't think we need to. I think we've got to keep our eyes on these two.
Absolutely. Well, I have to drink. Yeah, I have to drink. The rest of the field is kind of sitting in position. There's only 29 entries running at the moment. So I'll just quickly go over the 10 cars that are... technically 11 cars that are out of contention and have retired. So the number 28 car of Callum Bowman and the car 58 of Nick Cohen did not take the start. Oscar Coper was the first retiree, followed by Hugh Haycox, Marius Jank, James Goldstan, Taylor Lane, Carl Jacala, Louis Egertson, Josh Seymour and Matt Heatrick have all retired.
All those have retired at the moment. These are the cars still in the running, and these are the two that really want this victory. We can look elsewhere down the field just to give you an update. Andrew Miller's still P3 in the amateurs. Ben Smith, he's comfortably in P2 by the looks of it. He's basically just got no one around him. He's 17 seconds up the field from the other amateurs. So that's 20 seconds. Sorry, I was looking at Adam Christo. Adam Christo's not an amateur. Definitely not an amateur.
Yeah, he's a real racing driver. Let's put him in amateur class.
But the gap has increased, by the way. It was 0.8 at one stage. Going around on Arge, it was 1 second. And I can keep giving you these numbers. It does not matter. All that matters is who crosses the line first. If Matsuge, the closest he's been to Teknow in this run, is literally 0.7 seconds. So there's nothing between them at the moment. As this McLaren is holding on, and this is where Matsuge has been good, is the Porsche curves. The gap is starting to drop, almost kiss the wall. Yeah, look at it. Linus is struggling through here. Linus is a little bit struggling through the through Corvette right now. As they come around the end of Corvette right here, push. Matsuge has made up 0.2 of a second there. That doesn't sound like a lot, but when it's only half a second gap now, yeah, you've got to consider that a lot.
Information to pit lane. Information to pit lane. Leader is on final lap.
Thank you, Eduardo. Thank you, Eduardo. The gap is 0.3 of a second. Matsuge, a 3:55.575. He went purple again. Teknow was a 3:56.230. He lost a lot of time. We're on to the final lap. Coming down up to the Dunlop right now. Gap is 0.4 of a second. I could keep reading these out. It's almost like an aircraft reading here. 0.3 of a second. And these are the corners, the racetrack part of Le Mans, as I call it. The bits that are made just for racing, not the road section. That is where Matsky is succeeding. But he has to make his move now. They'll come around Tete Rouge right here. And now comes the moment. Tech now goes a little bit wide. He's really pushing that car. It's not a slowdown, but he has to push it now. Can he hold on?
He definitely has damage, because even with slipstream, he's not actually catching up to the... He's only holding on to the rear end. Well, as I say that, he's just done this.
Side by side they go, but Technow's got the nose in front. Now they're going side, now they're all the way down. Matsuke will want to go for it, decides against it. That gives Technow the inside line. He'll be compromised on the exit of the first chicane. We can see it, and Matsuke is going to pounce on it. But Technow being defensive, and I love this defense, straight away to the inside. If Matsuke wants it, he'll have to go around. Now they'll go side by side again, but Matsuke, yeah, there's got to be a little bit of damage. He is not pulling up to Technow after all that. It's going to be side by side again. Technow might take the inside again. Now Matsuke, will he send it? That's the question. I doubt it. Goes to the 200 marker. The 100 marker. Oh, they both break really late. I love seeing that. And actually, Technow a little bit slower, but compromised Matsuke because he has to take the line. Great defense here from Technow. They keep going. And I think Matsuke is just saying something on the comm. I'm not entirely sure. They keep going right now down into the Mulsanne corner.
Now, side by side is the action of the day, but it will cost Tim Matsuke time as a amateur pulls off to the side. I think that is a, well, it is a back marker.
Mark Bailey.
It is
Mark
Bailey letting the leaders by. Blue flags being oh, a little bit of a mistake from Mark Bailey, but he's still going. Verge Racing team is still going. In the background, as we see, it is IPR versus Manatee. Linus Technow versus Tim Matsuke. 13 versus 8. I don't know why I said the car number, because it doesn't even make a slight bit of differences. They come into Indianapolis. They will be braking now, going into... coming up to the rear end.
Technow had a bit of a moment. He's still got that flames. I'll tell you what, if Matsuke better brought his marshmallows, because all he can see is fire in front of him. The fire coming out the back of that McLaren. And it's still Technow there in front. The closest Matsuke has come is side by side. There has to be damage. Matsuke's not reporting any damage, but he cannot get past. But it keeps going faster and faster. They come to Porsche. Matsuke wants to make a move. He does not have it. He cannot make it. He's not side by side. Technow now will go around the Porsche. All he's going to do is make sure he does not hit the wall. They're both clean here. This is where Matsuke was the better of the two, but there's nowhere to go. Technow has learned from Christo last week. He has learned the ways of making a car big, and he has made that car look super wide. He was in the ILMS race at the Nordschleife earlier on Friday night. He did not come out lucky there with a crash. If he gets around these last few corners, he will come out of here a winner. They're going one at a time. There is nowhere to overtake on the last corner. Linus Technow this time will get the victory. It is a victory for Linus Technow. Tim Matsuke right behind him in 0.3.
Very well done to Linus Technow, who will most definitely now have his first victory chalked up on the RSR World Series, and I think he's going to have a little bit of celebration at the Dunlop chicane. I think he's lining up to do it. Oh no, he's actually parked the car. He's actually not going to do a celebration. But I do want to celebrate one other car. This one. The double O of the big old Ford wins for the amateurs. Josh Mayer flashing his lights. Look at him go. He definitely had the right car for the job, because it was definitely keeping up with the professionals all the way through. He was falling back a little bit, you know, just due to cornering, I would imagine. But what a great drive by Josh Mayer to come home and take the win for the amateurs, as the rest of the cars start finding home and picking up rubber.
Yeah, everybody called the Ford pick a bit of a joke pick, a bit of a meme pick. Well, how's it looking right now? It was probably the strongest track for the Ford. And my God, has it shown it. That is an amazing thing. Iglesias comes home 5th, so that'll be 4th. Miles will come home 6th. Stumpf will come home 7th, made up 25 spots. That will be a P6 in the pros. Gotta mention as well, Christo, 27 places he made up. He comes home in P10th. That would be a 9th overall for the pros. Fantastic. We've got to talk about, though, the amateurs. Ben Smith had a pretty quiet race, just like, not like Joshua Mayer. Mayer was fighting at the lead there for a bit. But Ben Smith, indeed, does take home the P2 in the amateurs. And Andrew Miller holds on for a P3 in the amateurs as well.
I do love how the Ferrari is revving, even though it's actually not.
I hate that. I hate that.
I still have yet to fix that. By the way, Christian Furs and Tom Johnson fighting all the way to the end. Oh, it's a three-way battle, actually. I think... Oh, sorry, Tom Johnson looking worse for wear in the front end department, but he makes it over the line.
Fantastic. Right, now, who's the last car out on the field? Is there any last cars out on the field? Yeah, Jonas Dreyer, by the looks of it, is the... No, hang on. Where's Harry Wills? Is he the last car?
No,
Harry's had a big moment. Oh, Harry's had a massive moment. He has lost... Oh, I don't know where he's lost the car, but... Oh, he lost the car coming into Indianapolis and Arnage. Oh, he lost on the exit of Indianapolis, and he is crabbing. He is crabbing that car.
Oh, this is where he lost it. Oh, the car just says nope, and a very...
He's trying to make it through Porsche, but that is one sad look at... Oh my God. Go to the cockpit and look at the... Can he get it out of 4th gear? I don't think 4th gear is going to be helping him here, but... And now he's trying 5th gear. No, you don't go up the gears, you go down the gears. Look at that steering wheel.
You can hear there's a tire dragging. There's at least one tire dragging in the car. That's how much it's crabbing right now. I think there might be a wheel that's either dragging or seized, but I see all fours. I think it's the rear right at the moment that is actually dragging, and that is a major crab. Can he make it to the line? Uh-oh. I think he might be out of fuel.
Oh no, he's saying he's got to finish. I think he is getting a push. He is getting a push from the Ford. No one is going to make fun of the Ford if he does this. There is 1 minute 25 to go. But that's how the time is. Here comes Mayer in the 00 Ford. A bit of Ford power here. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to put on my American accent right here. And most people drive Chevrolet trucks. But did you know what the most economical and largest space truck was last year? If you said Chevy, you'd be wrong. This is the new Ford. It is strong. It is mighty. It is big. It is tough. Ford, built tough.
Oh my God! Even with the American accent, I think that Audi is not doing very well. It's crabbing immensely, even being pushed from the rear.
He's not going to make it. 43 seconds. He's got 40 seconds to get through the Ford chicanes. Can he do it?
He can do it. I believe in him.
Do you know what? He might just say, "Give me the cut." Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! What's going on here?
I think he has said, "Give me." Oh no, I think we're done. I think we're done. I think he can't go on like this with suspicious man.
Did you just do that?
Yeah, I did.
Right. Some good racing all around. Shall we just do a rundown of the results?
Indeed, we shall.
You did the... I'll go through them, because Linus Tech now has proven that Tim Matske is human. All you need to beat Tim Matsuke is bend his wing. No, I'm kidding. That was unfortunate. Linus Tech now takes the win. Tim Matsuke unlucky not to get the win there. Netcode has ruined his race to no one's fault. Liam McNish takes P3. Was in that battle, had a bit of a spin earlier on. Joshua Mayer, who was doing donuts on the start-finish line, by the way, takes P4 and wins the amateurs. Tristan Iglesias came fifth. Adam Miles was 6th. Miles Stumpf made up 25 places to get 7th. Ben Smith finished 8th. That was P2 in the amateurs. Bradley Sellers was 9th, and Adam Christo made up 27 spots to 10th. Andrew Miller rounds off the podium for the amateurs in 11th, with Martin Pearson in 12th. Neil Butler comes 13th, and Stefan Kurtzman is 14th. Followed by Christian Furtz and Tom Johnson in 15th and 16th respectively. Dennis Van Asch comes 17th. Sebastian Ryan comes 18th, and Chris Hamer comes into 19th. Simon Marshall finishes 20th, with Simon Dodd, Isaac Barkley and Mark Sonderman behind him. Then, one lap down, Harry Wills finally crosses the line in 24th position. Mark Bailey also a lap down in 25th, as was Jack Hills, he's 26th. 4 laps down, Chris Miles in 27th, and Jonas Miles was also 4 laps down in 28th. Anthony Johnson had that pedal failure, finishes 29th but 6 laps down, and Matt Heatrick 8 laps down, finishes 30th. Josh Seymour 10 laps down in 31st, with Louis Eggleston in 32nd, Carl Jackalot in 33rd, and Taylor Lane in 34th, all 14 laps down. James Goldstein 15 laps down in 35th, Marius Yankee 36th, 17 laps down. Hugh Haycox 19 laps down in 37th, and Oscar Copper 21 laps down in 38th, with Rick Cohen and Callum Beaumont not taking the start.
Well, I think that was a great race at the end. It's unfortunate that Tim had top speed issues, because I would imagine once he cut up to the rear end of Tekna that he would have easily passed him, but unfortunately due to the damage that we now know he had, because, well, the net code was real.
How does a car with a bent wing down on top speed still get the fastest lap?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't. Just amazing drive from Tim, and let's be honest, he should have had that victory. I'm not, we can make a joke about netcode and everything, but should have had that victory.
Yeah, absolutely. I do agree. That's another drink for me. But I think we need to hand somebody the driver of the day at the very least.
Okay, well, I have to give. You see, I've got to. Malt Stumpf has to be my driver of the day. He didn't make up the same number of places as Adam Christo. Christo made up 27, Malt made up 25. But the key thing is, for championship points, Malt Stumpf got P6 in the pros. That is going to go a long way to keeping him somewhat in the battle, because he's always been close to the front of the field. He has the pace. So making that recovery, okay, he finished a minute and 10 behind the leaders, but he was at the back of the field having to fight everybody. That's a fantastic drive from Malt Stumpf.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. He'd be my driver of the day as well for keeping it clean and keeping it good. Adam Christo would definitely be...
Oh, speaking of Adam Christo, the man who almost got driver of the day, making up a record 27 spots with Adam Christo, and congratulations for practically last to the top 10. Yeah.
Who got it?
No, we gave it to Malt. Malt Stumpf got the driver of the day.
Yeah, and to be honest, he deserves it, because we were together and he disappeared from me. Like, he was so fast. So I wasn't able to keep up. But I've got the whole circuit to myself right now, which is quite nice.
Get some more practice in.
Well, I'm going backwards around the track. Oh, it's just kicked me out. So if everyone goes past the finish line, then you're able to go backwards around the track. So that's why I was just waiting there onto the start of the main straight, just to try and do a lap or two backwards.
And if you do a test drive, you can do anything backwards and do anything you want.
Oh really? I didn't
Yep.
realise that. I just thought you got disqualified. But
No. If you're in a test drive, you can't get disqualified.
okay, good to know.
So there you go. But
there you go.
a
Should try
great,
more
a
track
great,
backwards.
yeah, great drive from you today, though. Making it up the field must have been really sketchy, though.
Yeah, so there was a lot of carnage, especially at turn 1. It was quite chaotic, but in the end, I suppose it stayed out of trouble pretty well, and so was able to just chip away, which was pretty good. But yeah, the start was chaos. Like there must have been about 20 people trying to go. In fact, what happened was someone spun going around the first curve, and I think that wiped a handful of people out, and then it was just making sure that no one broke back in front. But qualifying was a complete disaster, possibly my worst qualifying I've ever had. But I think that was a little bit down to not enough practice. So I just got track limits and had a half spin and thought I'd make it.
Well, welcome to Le Mans. Welcome to Le Mans. It's a very tricky track to tame. I don't know if you've got anything to say, Rob.
No, it was more just so. I just want to talk about the incident between yourself and Hugh in the AM. Well, you're the AMG, but yourself and Hugh, who was in the McLaren.
Yeah, that was a real shame.
What happened?
So I had James on my outside, who were actually teammates, and I didn't get the best of runs onto them all saying straight. And I knew the McLaren was on me inside, and then next thing I know, James is screaming down me going, watch out, watch out, watch out. And I was just like, whoa, thinking that I was like veering towards him. So I just turned a little bit and sadly touched the McLaren, and that sent him into the wall, which I apologise for that, because the last thing I want to do is wipe anyone out, especially when it's not even a quarter of the way through the race. So it's a real shame. So yeah, I apologise for that bit of contact. It was just a bit of a, I suppose, a knee-jerk reaction to James screaming down my ear, because I suddenly saw him on the outside thinking, oh shoot, I'm about to wipe him out, and it was just a little touch. But I was amazed that it had such a big consequence. I thought that it would have just sort of like, in fact, if anything, I thought it would have been me that would have crashed. But anyway, so I survived, and I apologise for. I think that was probably the end of his race. It didn't look too friendly on the text chat that he sent me, which is sort of understandable.
Yeah, it is. That was unfortunate, but apart from that, no, it was a good result. Really, just making your making your way up through the field. So I haven't really got anything else to say. I must be honest.
The time for the front boys are incredible. I think
that they are
3:55 in there, like.
Well, I must admit, while we talk about the top boys are here with the winner and the runner-up, Linus Tech now and Tim Matske. Well, first of all, congratulations to both of you, but I think we've got to talk about it, Tim, and we're all, it's sad to see, beaten by, well, on our screen it looked like netcode, but from the video you just provided, that looks like solid contact.
No, it's not netcode, I think. Hello, first of all. Hello, everyone. Hello, viewers. Yeah, I think the biggest shame is that just the viewers and we lost a good fight, because while it's very good to have slipstream on Le Mans, without a bent wing you can pass. Doesn't mean that you're easily going to win if you start the last lap in the second spot. So I didn't even know that I had damage. That's the fun part of it. Like I wasn't sure. I thought I had no damage. I did not notice the situation whatsoever. At some point, Yosha just said, "Hey Tim, on the stream you have damage." I was like, "Eh."
Yeah, we were looking at it, and there was damage. And I remember Nathan Ames was telling us on the chat was, "You don't have any damage. He's not reporting any damage." And I'm like, "You're not reporting any damage." And then you were constantly putting fast lap. You the 2 of the last 3 laps you went purple.
Yeah, I know.
And that was the weirdest thing, and I was second guessing myself. You know, was I hit by this were you hit by like replay damage or something? And it was just so unfortunate.
No, it was actual damage. And the thing is, the bent rear wing in the Audi is not doing what it should do. Like, if the wing is like that in real life, you would of course lose all the downforce and a lot of top speed. And basically, well, you're losing a little top speed, no downforce by having the wing bent like that. I think it made the difference of not giving me the chance to attack. But as I said before, just having a straight wing doesn't mean I would have won. It would have been a good battle though, similar to what we saw into the pits. I think that was fun to watch, or fun to be part of. I guess it was fun to watch side by side with Porsche Curves and Busan and Arnage.
Yeah, I gotta admit, you had some great, because one thing as well, I'll bring up with Linus now, Tim, you had some amazing cornering abilities through the Porsche and Corvette curves, but Linus had a little bit of sketchiness there at the end of the race. But I need to ask Linus, was that just the power of the McLaren in that pit stop, getting a 3-second advantage over Tim?
I say, I don't know, 50-50. The fuel usage got increased quite a bit last patch. I don't know what exactly it is for the Audi. But yeah, I saved quite a bit over a lap, like 1.5 laps of fuel overall. So it was, I don't know. Some part of it is just the McLaren being a bit better in pits. Maybe I saved a bit more as well, I don't know.
I think, yeah, we saved a lot as well, but I think we could have definitely saved more. So I guess, especially with Linus having more experience, that combo and in how to save fuel and how important it is, I guess he just was doing a better job saving fuel as well. We were a bit surprised. Also, Liam and I, we fucked up quite a bit with the pit stop strategy. We were obviously going to pit in the same lap, but then I made a very late call, so Liam couldn't react anymore. So I feel a bit bad for him. But in the end, well, it didn't really matter. He came out ahead of me because the battle with Linus definitely cost us a lot of time on the in-lap. So yeah, from then on it was just quali lap after quali lap. And funnily enough, around the time that I got the damage, we were starting to pick up the pace a bit. Obviously not related to the damage, but car getting lighter, track maybe even cooling down, I don't know. I think so. And I was just pumping in the lap times. And as you mentioned, I think through the Porsche curves, I had a big edge on Linus, but he was a bit faster like the whole lap, and I wasn't sure why, because I thought McLaren is same on the straights, but well, with the damage it was faster.
With even with the damage at the top end, he was still peaking at 283. You were still going 284, 285. So
no, that can't wait. Let me actually check. I can't believe that.
McLaren limiter is 284, like 284.5, I think.
I'm checking lap
limiter.
Yeah, sorry. I'm checking lap 21 right now. That's the lap where I don't have slipstream, and that's 282. I might have hit 285 with slipstream, but that's right. Well, you cannot compare that. Without slipstream, I did 282. Lap 21 and Linus did 283, 284. So he was like 1.5k faster with the damage.
Yeah, I think over the whole lap, I lose in like from Porsche curves to basically the first long straight again is where the Audi gains.
Yes.
And the rest of the lap the McLaren gains.
It's a bit like the old LMP1 Porsche against Audi.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a fantastic battle, and I think it was the fuel strategy more than anything, because I remember just saying Linus was just holding on behind and probably could have made a move, but I don't think because of the top speed you could. But it was just fantastic seeing all three of you, even Liam, who isn't here at the moment. He had a little bit of a spin out of Corvette, but kept the car into P3. It was just fantastic seeing you two just battle. And yeah, I mean, I've made fun of Linus. I think Linus isn't the best isn't a fan of doing non-stop Le Mans, but did bring his best game out here today, I've got to be honest. And it was fantastic seeing both of you perform. But there's one driver I do need to mention, and it's the second week in a row I've had to bring this car in, because the Ford, we talked about it last week, and it's happened again. The Ford has just shown why it is absolutely OP in the straight, and Joshua Mayer has put the Ford into P4, but wins the amateurs for the second race in a row. So congratulations there. It wasn't bouncing, Joshua. It was not bouncing.
Woohoo!
Oh, it was. Trust me. You should have watched it into the first chicane, but no, thank you.
No, it was. I was gonna say it was a good performance, because as well as keeping the lead in the amateurs, you had that practically in the bag the moment you started at the field, but you had to avoid getting in the tussle with Tim and Linus and Liam. So I mean, at one stage, I think you literally were on their slipstream, and would that helpful? Did you just pull back? Because I also think you were having to brake a bit earlier. Am I right there? You were braking a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I was. I wasn't particularly saving fuel because the guys are too fast for me to save fuel behind them to stay in slipstream. But it definitely helped at the early stage of the race to get a bit of a gap. And then towards the end of the race, I have to say that the setup was really good. In the end, my last 4 laps, I was only 2/10 slower than my fastest lap that I did in Tim's slipstream, so it really picked up the pace towards the end.
It was Rob. I know you love the Ford. You've got to have something to say.
I've got an affection for the Ford because, well, now at this stage it's won 2 races in a row, and it's the only person that's driving it that's winning those 2 races in a row. So, what's the formula that makes it tick for you, Josh?
It's just the only car that possesses a front axle. That's it.
Joshua likes the Pogo.
It's just, it feels a bit like the M8 in terms of what you feel in the wheel, and I like that because I hate every other GT3 because it's just like your steering wheel is in some form of glob or goo. So I don't know. That's just why I use it.
It has a very reactive front, basically. That's what he likes.
Yeah, it's my second favorite GT3 car because it's very, very direct.
Yeah.
It's a cursed vehicle.
It's kind of similar to the McLaren driving style wise.
Yeah.
Because you don't need that much steering angle, and it's like very, very direct.
Yeah, that was one of my main things that I'm happy about with the setup, because through the entire race I didn't have any under or oversteer. It just, you turn in and it does what it does. You need to work a bit for it. You need to work on the setup, but it can be really nice.
I'm still gonna make fun of it though because it's this big, huge, older style GT car, and then it's just hanging around with these more modern GT cars. I mean, if it still drives good, I'll give credit to that, but it's a big boy. It's like Giga Kubica versus everyone else in the field.
What I will say though is next week we're back to the 2-race format. 2 minutes of Silverstone. Now I've got to be honest. Are we all looking forward to that? Because I don't think myself and Rob have done any broadcasting of a single class series around Silverstone, but I love Silverstone, so I'm really looking forward to it personally. But I mean, what do we expect from? Of course, we've got an Audi, we've got an Audi, we've got a Ford, and we've got a McLaren. I'm feeling like the Audi might have the advantage here.
Yeah, well, the McLaren is not very good at Silverstone, and I'm not very good at Silverstone, so that's not a good combo.
Are we saying we're going to expect you to win the second race then, Linus?
Yeah, maybe if I spin in maggots and Beckett's, that's very, very loose through there. I hope the temperatures are like around 30 degrees because that's somewhat manageable, but yeah, it's not an easy track.
They always say that England in August is probably the best time of the summer is August for England. So I think you might be lucky there unless it's overcast. So I think you might get a bit lucky there.
Wait, Linus wants cold temps though.
No, I want kind of medium temps because it's like at the super low temps, the car is just getting very, very snappy.
Yeah.
Because you just put on more rake and then you die in the fast corners. And if it's too hot, my rear tires die and I spin. So it has to be somewhere in the middle.
I was going to say 30 Celsius to me doesn't sound like cold temps at Silverstone. That sounds like temperatures they wish the F1 was at. But no, hopefully you get lucky. August, it'll be an August sim time, so might get a little bit lucky. But I'm pretty sure one thing we'll be seeing the Ford do a bit of bouncing around the curves, won't we?
I haven't tested Silverstone yet, But if it's anything like Barcelona, it's gonna be bad. But I have to admit, I'm not a fan of Silverstone. It's probably one of my least favorite circuits.
Well, it's one of your better circuits, though.
I still
I
don't
think.
like it.
Oh, I think you're gonna like winning, though.
Rob, help me out here.
I have actually tried the Ford last week at Silverstone. Not in a race, just practice, and I don't know, I think it was fine. You have to be careful to not hit the red anti-cuts in, I think it's Copst. Was the worst one, where you can cut with all the other cars, but not with Ford and turn 1 as well, but otherwise it's fine, I think. I don't know how good the tires hold up.
Definitely not cops.
Yeah, but you have 6k I rating and I have 2.
Well, you are better than 2K, though.
I will also vouch for what Tim just said. Just for those unaware, Joshua Bayer was beating people with a controller before he got a direct drive wheel.
That transition, though.
That transition from a controller to a direct drive wheel was, yeah, to me that's just amazing.
Big strong.
Unlike that transition, I think there are 5 of us in this room will have to say goodbye to the stream. So, guys, are you ready for next week? Well, I know Linus is scared, but is Manatee ready to take the fight to Silverstone?
Not yet, but we will be, I think, comes Wednesday.
Craig,
And
will you?
big shout out to Eki, yeah? Eki, whoop whoop.
Poor Eggy. Poor Eggy.
No, not poor Eki. I think you like it. Eki is a marshal at VLN in real life.
Oh!
Helping
talk
motorsports.
I thought you meant about his crash today. Yeah, that's really good to see.
What crash? He's not driving in the series. He's just an aide.
Oh, Eggy. I thought you meant Louis Eggleston. Oh, that's awkward.
No. I don't know Louis too much.
I thought you meant Louis Eggleston. I thought, yeah, shout out to Eggy. I thought, what? He crashed today? Oh, no.
you just shot yourself in the foot.
Yep. I'll let you finish.
But what? But I think if we say it on 1, 2, 3, goodbye stream. So 1, 2, 3.
Goodbye, stream.
Hopefully you can join us again, guys, next week. 2 30-minute races of Silverstone. We'll get to see a reverse grid, and that'll be entertainment galore, trying to see them go down to turn 1. But until then, take care, guys. Stay safe. Have a good weekend, and enjoy yourselves.
I think we should